Welcome back once again, all you Warhammers and Warhammies, to the best episode of Big M's Power Hour to date. I'm yeah, that's 2 months in a row I fucked up. You know what? I'm gonna keep it. So this
Oh
is what we're
boy, here
doing.
we go.
We're doing it live.
Doing it live today, guys.
This is why I keep the very special man next to me here, Cole of the Sea. How you doing, Cole?
I'm doing pretty good. Doing great now that I know we're just going to do the whole thing live.
You know,
It'll
we're
be
just gonna do
fine.
it. We're gonna
We're
do it
just
this.
going to rip through it. It'll be fine.
This is how all the TikTokers and YouTubies do all that stuff. So
I'm pretty sure they pay a lot of editors, but we don't have money for that. So
no. Well, again,
yeah.
they do that sort of thing to edit it in. They edit this in.
You're probably right. It's
This
a
is
cool thing to edit it in
homegrown.
now. Yeah.
Um,
Homegrown.
so let me ask this. I know we haven't talked too much this month just because of everything going on with everybody. But
Right.
how are you still Cole of the Sea, or is
I am still Cole of the Sea. I am Cole who is now trying to relearn the sea, I think is the best way to put it. As I used to know the sea, I cannot claim such a thing anymore.
um, well, I think that'd probably be a good thing to start up with the opening chatter because there's really not too much to talk about. Um, because we had a local GT out of Fabricator
Yeah.
Forge this month. It's a 2 day event. Neither of us were super on fire.
No, not even a little bit.
Um, so one of the issues that we had was we basically had the majority of Team USA.
Yeah, yeah. I fought two of my rounds. The first two rounds were both against members of Team USA, which that one as you would expect. But you know,
Yeah.
it was a very competitive event for like 20 something people being there.
Oh my gosh, it was like going to a local.
It was a local one dayer essentially in size.
Was it
However,
like
the talent pool was
right,
much deeper.
right? It's like going to like a police auction and it's nothing but Lambos and Ferraris that are just spick and span. You know, it's like
Yep.
it's not what I expected. I was expecting a
No,
Geo Metro
no.
with some bullet holes. That's
Damn.
um.
Uh,
So I brought my Stormcast list that I brought to LVO. Um,
yeah,
and I can tell you in the 3 months, power creep is real.
yeah.
Uh,
Some of that could also. I don't remember. Did you play against any of the members of Team America during your time? No.
No.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, and tell us about your list since it was on the new Battle Tome.
Yeah, new Battle Tome. I decided I was going to spam the Namarti. I think I overdid it, and having learned now. It was a king, an Eidolon of the sea. See behind me. What is it? Lotan, a Tidecaster, and then 50 Thralls and 30 Reavers, which hit 2K on the dot. I think I overdid it on the bodies.
Okay.
So I had more trouble maneuvering that large mass than I thought I would.
Because they're on 32s,
And
right?
yes, they're on
Yeah,
32s.
that's a
However,
lot of.
the Thralls getting a 2-inch reach help, but
Oh, absolutely.
just the size of those
Yeah,
blobs is quite unwieldy.
that's a lot of real estate.
It is a lot of real estate, and if you mess up on your movement or anything like that, it is
Deployment.
very punishing. Yes, on
You
deployment,
mess
it
up.
is a very punishing list
Yeah, you
because it
mess up your
doesn't have much
deployment and
for
be done.
defense. Yeah, yep. As I did one game. So, but I was learning the list. I have since completely changed that list, tore it up, and started all over. And we are
Okay.
going to be running a mixed list again. So
Okay.
we will be trying that coming up.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I'm glad to see you're not disheartened or anything. It's funny,
I
like
think it's in the book. I've seen other places. I forget where it was. Both Canada and Australia had GTs same weekend. Both won by Deepkin.
wow.
It's there. It's just not me.
Yeah. Well,
So
again,
it's there.
the other
I
there
just
was
have to
one other
figure that out.
Deepkin. There's one other Deepkin player at the event, and he was struggling to find some wins as well, right?
Yeah, there were actually two others. One of
Okay.
them was my only tie, which was as good as I got for a win throughout the weekend. And there was another one who had a singular win there. So I think it is very much a hey, did you make a mistake? You're going to get punished type
Yeah.
of book. Feels like we don't quite have enough units, but obviously we do. Other people are figuring it out. I
Yeah.
just need to learn the book. That's all.
Yeah. 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 Like I said, for me, it was just no. It was just like it feels like you're. I'm basically at the point where the everything not broken in Stormcast has fallen below the average mark. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, Vindictors are still really good, but they don't have the damage needed to do any of the damage
Right.
checks.
Yeah.
Um,
They don't do enough on their own is the issue.
right. So yeah. So and again, what the solution is to that, I don't know. I don't know. Chuck and I got a game on TTS where I tried the highest ranking non-dragon Stormcast list where he was using the Annihilators,
Okay.
and that that is not.
Not a list for you.
No, I mean it was basically.
Yeah.
Uh, it seems I have. I had a lot of respect for the guy, and I apologize. I don't remember his name, but um, he was on the. I watched an episode of Coach AOS Coach that had the title was Annihilator Grande or something like that, and he's on it there
Okay.
explaining his list, and I thought I understood it pretty well, and the problem is I don't see how I could have. I don't see like how I could have changed anything because it was like you can only drop one block of Annihilators a turn and be within 7 inches.
Right.
Um, First off, I only made one charge the entire game.
Okay. Especially on a unit that gets to reroll its charges when it
Right.
falls from the sky. Not good.
Right. I mean, you still need to roll a 7. You get to roll it
Right.
twice, but you still need to roll a 7. And they were saying like 80% chance. I was like, oh, that's not bad. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, 20% of my attempts succeeded.
It's not exactly how that's supposed to go, buddy. I just wanted to let you
uh,
know that.
it really feels it's a very interesting unit. Like, I'm sure if you play it just right, it is devastating.
Yeah.
I mean, you are talking about a unit that gets 9 attacks that you can put a twos and twos pretty easily
Yeah.
with
Without a problem.
I forget if it's a -2 or it's -2
Well,
rend
I was going to say, are we Grand Hammer or Hammer and Shield?
Grand
So,
Hammer, yeah. So -2
yeah,
rend
so
with
minus
3
two,
damage a pop.
3. Yeah.
So your chances are you're probably going to get 7
You're
attacks
cracking
through.
whatever you hit. Yeah.
So that's a potential 21 damage if it's something that has some light armor. Um, but the
Yeah.
problem is like you're then sitting there with 9 wounds
Right. It's going to
on a
get blown
4-up.
right back off the table if
Um,
the opponent has been playing correctly.
right. And so like, and you can only drop one. Like, I mean, you can
Mhm.
drop multiple, but you can only drop one within 7.
Right.
So it's like every single time you drop one, it's like, did you kill that unit? If you didn't
Mhm.
kill that unit, you've lost the game.
Right. Yeah.
And that seems to me that that's not an army that I'm going to be able to do. Like,
Mm.
again, like I said, like I always say, I always hate to um, complain about bad rolls, but like,
I mean, yeah, you do need to roll slightly average to make
right,
things work and try an army. Yeah.
right.
And one game is not the best test pool in the world,
No,
obviously.
no. But like I said, I mean,
yeah,
you get a feel. I think whenever you play one game, you get a feel. Like you can be like,
you,
oh,
you
okay,
very quickly, yes, no, I agree. You
maybe if
very
I do
quickly
this
go,
next time, maybe if I do
yeah,
that. This it was just no.
yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah.
I do have another list that I want to try where I substitute out um, some of the extra stuff, like the like he has a night um, judicator,
Oh,
which in all honesty, like it just doesn't do enough. It's too many points. If it was 3 attacks, 'cause it's only 2.
Right.
If it was 3 attacks, okay. You
Mhm.
know, now we're talking. You know, now we have something that's worth, I think it's like 215 points or something.
It's 205. So it's still
Close.
it's 200 points
It's
at
over
least.
2.
Yeah.
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 For 2 attacks, it should probably be 180.
Okay.
Uh,
Not even the two dogs it brings along just isn't
I mean,
enough.
it's just
It's two
Griffins.
dogs. Yeah,
Yeah.
it really doesn't do a whole lot.
I mean,
Yeah.
it is 4 attacks, but like at the same time, it is
Mm,
4s and 3s, no Ren 1 damage.
that's fair.
I mean, they're good. Don't get me wrong. I like them.
Yeah. It's interesting you say that. I was actually playing around with an idea for a Stormcast list that was essentially trying to mortal wound bomb you
Yeah.
off the table on turn one using him to what are they? Night Vexilers with the meteor banner. Yeah, because they just pick a point and you don't roll to see if you do the mortals, you
Yeah.
just do the mortals.
Yeah.
Plus what was it? 3 units, 3 annihilators. Just okay, are we gonna mortal we want to do off the table? If you're running small heroes and stuff, pick them
Yeah.
up.
The problem is turn 1. It's like you have to give you have to simultaneously give your opponent the turn to get
While
out
still
of their
getting everything good.
right.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, I need to give you the turn so you get out of your deployment zone so I can access you, and I also have to hope that you don't realize what's coming. And then on top of
Which,
that, like I said, you're looking at what, a total of 5d3 mortal wounds,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
a lot of times, at least anymore, that's not really enough to turn the tides of a game unless you're going against like Fire Slayers or something like that.
Right.
So what I'm going to try it. Maybe you and I can do some TTS because I think this list might be a good counter for your list. So it might be
Okay.
something that's
Something to try, yeah.
You
Anything
wouldn't
that
wanna
can
learn.
deal out decent mortal wounds, yeah, I'm scared of.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so basically the change is I switch one of the Grand Hammers to a shield.
Okay.
So that way I have a little bit of staying power. To
Free
do
up
like
40 points.
right. And then I also have enough points to bring in Yandrasta
Ooh, okay. I
and
like
a
Dross with annihilators.
and a group of Praetors to keep her alive.
Okay. Yeah, the turn one, at least I can try and help keep her up.
Right.
Problem
well,
is she outpaces them so quickly.
well, again, like I said, she's not necessarily going to be there for combat.
Right. She's there to keep things alive.
Right. If you get, because again, it's a big,
Bubble for that.
yeah, it's a big bubble, and like I said, they just have to be within range. So even if they move to the side, run, and she just
Right.
does a normal move,
Just barely keeps up with, keeps them towed in with her. Yeah.
Right. Like I said, I don't think it has too much hope, too much promise. But I mean, if there's a chance to keep a unit of annihilators alive to do another swing,
Right. Or just to pin an opponent with that 2-up armor
right,
somewhere in the backfield. Yeah.
right. So we'll see. Like I said, the event itself was really great. Everyone that showed up was, I was happy to see everybody there. I wish I was thinking. I don't know if you paid attention at all or not. For Daniel Fields.
I would, or David. Yeah, I don't know
David.
where.
I always call him Daniel.
It's okay. It's okay. I don't remember where he ended up, but that was a cool list to see. It was just all the Stormcast dragons brought to one place, which cool.
Yeah, he brought both the caster and the damage dealer, and like seeing him on the table makes me just want to play them so bad. But 600 points is insane for them.
Yep, he paid it. I think he had both of those, and what's the Star Drake as well?
Yeah.
I think he also
He had a
squeezed that
Templar.
list.
It was a knight. It was a Templar.
That was it.
Because he didn't
Okay.
have the points, and then I think it was just three 5-man
Three
blocks
units
of liberators.
Yeah, he like squeaked that thing in there.
Yeah, like I said, I would love to see them. You know what? Let's go over the War Scrolls real quick here. Let's see what you think their points should be at.
Oh, I definitely, as a man who lives with a 500-point turtle, they are overpointed. At least the fighty one is, in my opinion.
Well, let's start off with the casty one then, because I like the casty one more. Just because I think the fighty one really comes into play whenever you're killing units and killing heroes.
Right.
And in my experience, you're probably only going to kill 1 or 2 units.
Right.
Okay, so let's look at Krondus here. So it's the casty one.
Yeah.
18 wounds, 3 up save, 10 bravery because that's important.
Right.
And then varying move, and then he has 1 missile attack at 18 inches, but it's all special stuff.
Right. It's the
For
normal dragon breath weapon
Yeah.
attack. The on a 1 to 2 do nothing or 1.
yeah, well, so for this is 1 to 2. So no on this. 1 to 2 is 1 mortal wound. So no matter what, if you're at 18 inches, you're taking a mortal
Oh,
wound.
I see. I see it. So it's slightly better in that a
Yeah.
regular dragon is 1 to 2, it's 0, and this guy is in the same
Yeah,
D3
3 to 4
and then
D3,
D6.
5 to 6 D6. Yeah.
Okay.
So movement starts at 14, goes down to 18. Let's see. Apex Moss on a 1+ to start. So 4 attacks, 3s, 1s, 2 rend, 3 damage. So it's
Not bad. Not
essentially a Grand Hammer.
Yep.
Then you also have a tail that's 3 attacks, 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage. Essentially a annihilator with a shield.
Sure.
And then the Calamitous Tail, which is let's see. Okay, I think that's a number of models within range.
Right. I think that's
I think it's
the
capped out
horde
at
killer.
8.
No,
No, it's
cap.
not capped. Okay,
That's
so
good.
no cap, and that is 3s, 2 rend, 2 damage. So another shield.
All right. So it has possibility of doing a lot. I think
Yes.
it wants to see a Skaven or a city, something horde style.
It's really funny. Like, I think the attack profile is set up to fight hordes, but I
Yep.
don't think the defense profile is set up to fight hordes.
No.
Which that's one of the things I was talking about the Grand Hammers. There's a little bit of a paradox in my mind with them because in order to play them, you have to you essentially can't reinforce them because
Yeah.
their points are so high and the footprint of trying to drop them is so high. It's very hard, but it just feels like there's supposed to be 6 of them. It really does.
Yeah. So that they can survive the hit back and everything like that.
Right, right. So let's see the special abilities here because this is the special ability guy. Let's see. Add the Regalia Fulmentaris value shown on this unit's damage table for all casting rolls for this unit.
So +3 to cast for, I think this is a 2-cast wizard.
Yes.
The only 2-cast wizard in Stormcast had to be a 600-point dragon.
Which drives me up a wall. Like, you have the Toralon. I actually have the Toralon right back there. Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Can't
right
you see
there.
how well I painted it? And there's the
Looks
Selsun
beautiful.
Prime. Yeah.
It looks beautiful from here.
Yeah, I like to go with the 10-foot rule. That's
Yeah. Well, mine's touchable.
Okay. And then let's see. So we have Atavistic Tempest. Atavistic Tempest is a spell with casting value of 9, range of 9 with a range of 24. If successfully cast, pick 1 enemy range. Oh, I remember this spell. I really like it a lot.
Yeah.
Pick 1 enemy unit within range or visible to the caster, then pick 1 of the effects. So you can either subtract 1 from hit rolls. You can worsen rend by 1. You can subtract 1 from the attack characteristic of missile weapons. Or subtract 1 to save rolls.
I like subtracting 1 from save rolls as somebody who
Yeah.
has that ability in Deepkin. It's very nice.
Where did it say wizard? I know he's a wizard, but yeah, okay, there it is. So you can cast 2 and unbind 2. So, like I said, it is a very good profile, and I really
It
like the
is.
spell. But it's not 600 points.
No, not for something that I feel like, especially with no ward save, it falls down pretty easily.
Right. If this had, I don't know why this doesn't have a 4 ward.
That is a good question. A 4 might have been too much on an 18
Yeah,
wound, but
yeah,
you could have twisted my arm into a 5.
I'd rather split the difference and go down to 16 and get the 4
Okay.
because I can't. What's funny is like
If we're gonna pay 600 points for him, yeah, okay.
at
I'll give you the
600.
16. Yeah, I'll give you the 16 and go to a 4.
I would say
Because I'm trying to think of like a Stonehorn, which is a 3 with a 5 up, but I think it's 13 wounds. So
yeah,
that's 400 something points.
I would say if you just gave him a 5-up ward, I would pay 520 for him.
Yeah, I could see that pretty easily. I think he needs to have his +3 on his Dispel as well, so
Yes.
that he can fight in the magic phase, both sides of it.
Yeah.
Would very much help the Stormcast with a part that I think that they're really struggling with in the magic phase.
Yeah.
You take a regular wizard and you go, well, hopefully the opponent doesn't have any wizards so that I can do my thing.
That's what drives me up the wall is like, I hate taking a unit for a singular task. Like I hate a unitasker on my table, and you have so many people taking the Knight Arcanum because they have the Unbind Scroll that they can use once per game.
Right.
Yep. And I'm like, that's so dumb.
No, I hear you. I am victim to it as well, though. Whenever I start building Stormcast lists, I sit there and go, well, do I need a Lord Arcanum, or will the Knight do?
Right. Well, the Knight is the way that you have to go because the Lord doesn't have the Dispel Scroll.
Right, that's what I mean.
So it's like...
do I need a Lord? If the answer is no, then we're just going straight to the Knight.
Alright, so let's take a look at Karazai here. So same profile, 18 wounds, 3 up save, 10 bravery, Blazing Tempest, exact same thing. Yeah, starts at 14-inch move, goes down to 8. So let's see. So we start off here with Annihilating Jaws, 6 attacks. So now we got 6 attacks starting at a 1. Worse is a 4+. So we got 3s, 1s, Ren 3D, and 3 damage. I said D3, there's a flat 3. So now we have...
Flat 3 is great.
2 Annihilators together.
Yep.
Ruinous Claws, we got 4 attacks, 3s, 2 Ren, 2 damage. And then the tail.
The tail, just like before, I think.
Yeah.
Yep.
So he's really going to do a lot of damage.
That's the hope, is that he does, yes.
Right. Well, I mean, so think about it. If you just do... heck, he's a hero. Yeah, if you do Best Day Ever and give him all-out attack, now all of a sudden his entire profile is only losing on a 1.
Right. I will argue you, so is our spellcaster.
That's true as well, but he also has a lot more attacks.
He has...
Not a lot more, but he has 3 more of the go-to.
Well, I think it's only 2. I think that the Blue Dragon has 4 in his base. His big one.
Hold on, let me bring it back up.
Yeah, go ahead and pull him back up.
4, you're right. 4, 3.
So we're paying for the combat guy who gets 2 more swings, and I think 1 better rend. That's what we're paying for.
Yeah. Now that
2 more swings, 1 better rend.
Okay, all right.
When you think about her like that, I'm taking the casting one all day.
Now, with that being said, some of his abilities: Ancient Master of War, subtract 1 from the attack characteristic of melee weapons that target this unit.
I think they both have that.
Did I miss it on the other one? I don't know, man. I feel like I haven't done this show in like a year.
It's okay, yeah. Ancient Master of War. We have it on both.
I skipped over.
Yep. I know. I'm sorry to hit you with that. But they both have it. So I'm ticking away at the melee one here right now.
Blazing Tempest. But for him, a 1 and 2 is 1 mortal wound.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
It's okay. Just the Fires of Vengeance is the only difference. That's all this guy gets.
So if you kill a hero or monster, add 1 to attack characteristic. Now, see, I think he could be a real good monster hunter.
Right. No. Especially right now in the monster world.
Not a giant.
No, not a giant. He can't kill a giant. If you can set up with shooting him to go in and then finish off a monster, he slowly throughout the game, if you can keep him up, gets to be more scary. You give him the 5-up ward like what we were talking about earlier, and I think that he becomes the actual scary melee unit we want him to be. Because then he doesn't just die to somebody got to charge him first.
Yeah. Boy, yeah, you're right. So, okay, so what would we... All right, so let's see. So to make him worth 600 points.
Okay. Make him worth 600.
He definitely needs the 4-up ward.
Yeah.
I
He
would
needs.
be so bold as to give him the 4-up ignore spells and endless spells.
Hmm, that is. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not going to hurt him. That's for certain. Um, I think having the Giants or the Sons of Behemoth ability, where if you were to just die to a spell or ability, take D6
That's
mortals,
not a bad one.
it would also be very good. Little things to just keep him alive.
Um,
Um, but yeah, right
maybe
now,
something on the charge. Maybe like a strike first.
yeah, strike first on the charge or something along those lines. Right now, though, I just feel like he's just another dude and he's
Oh
fighting
man,
so
looking at it
much.
now, like
Yeah, like I might not
what's
just take
Gotrek? What's Gotrek at? How many points is he?
480 something,
So
480 something.
460. Because I'd rather take Gotrek.
I could see him at the same level as my turtle right now, hitting at 500. I think is doable.
Well, so the issue is you have to look at the rest of the army.
Right.
So
There's
if
nothing really to back this guy up.
right, if that was a Idoneth dragon, I would say yeah, he should probably be about the same points as the dragon because the rest of like I know your points are a little high,
Right, but they're I think meant to be because it's
but
a newer book.
with
Yeah.
Stormcast their points are even higher and their
Right.
war scrolls do a little less with better saves,
Yeah. We'll
better
just
staying
have
power.
they right. They just survive a hit.
Right, and so so you kind of have to have your super elites to be a little lower, I think,
Yeah.
to have
Yeah.
internal balance with the book. Because again, like I said, I think they're really cool models. I'm still
I
upset
do
that
too.
that they that the only difference between them is the heads.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. No, I agree.
just
Uh,
give them different wings. Like,
no. And seeing David's models at the event, really cool. It was the first time I actually ever saw any in
same.
person built. So really cool to even see. I was happy to see them. I think he did better than us with it.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah,
awesome for him.
yeah,
I
yeah,
mean, got to play with the cool, fun dragons. That's nothing wrong with that.
yeah. Again, like I said, David's David's one of those ones that could take a 1,800 point list and do better than us.
That's fair. That's fair.
um, but yeah, I gotta say, like, I'm trying to bounce back. A lot of the reveals helped,
Good. Good.
because like I'm just sputtering on on
No,
AOS
I
right
hear you.
now. I mean, it's like, and I don't want to go into too much depth for this because July will be the 1 year, so we're gonna do like a 1 year look back, kind of
Okay.
a retrospective. But it's like there's a lot of stuff I think is there's more mechanics in the okay I'll accept it category than the yeah I really love it category.
Hmm.
And then I feel like there's been a lot of feast or famine with the battle tomes.
Uh, yeah, I can kind of see it. I
G-
think that a lot of the newer ones they've been releasing have been better.
Well, let me put it
I
this way.
think currently Stormcast are suffering from what happened with like Space Marines in 40k.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
Is
again,
they were the first.
right. Whoever's the first is always going to end up being real bad by the end. And, I was
Hmm.
hoping that the profiles seemed so strong at the time that
Right.
the defense was going to be there and stay there. And, yeah.
The problem is Age of Sigmar is not a defense oriented game.
Right, right. And that's, I think, one of the issues that I'm having because I like defensive armies. I like
Right.
my shit staying on the table.
Yeah. Yeah.
Every model lost is a battle lost. It's
So, have you heard of this army? It's called Osiark Bone Reapers. It just sits there, hardly moves. It's like dwarves, only they
yeah,
survive.
yeah, yeah. Well, my one buddy, he's putting together Bone Reapers. We actually need to get another because, like, if we're not playing,
Good.
he's not painting,
Gotcha.
and so
So you
I
got to
always
keep
need to
them
be
pulled
like,
in here, keep them reeled in.
yeah, yeah. And so with all this going on and just being busy, like every weekend, we didn't get a weekend in April,
Mm,
so I'll need to get on him. And
yeah, you do.
but one thing that did come out of one good thing that came out of the tournament was besides the fact that I got another fight in with my buddy who at the uh, one day event that I ended up winning, it was me versus him, and he brought his Iron Jaws, and we
Oh,
like
okay.
stretched it out to the very end to see who ended up winning. He was my second round opponent, and
Okay.
he had made some tweaks to his army based on our last game, and
Yeah.
then my only tweaks was I switched my Castellan to my Relictor as my general because
Okay.
heaven forbid I roll a 2 reliably.
No, I hear ya. I hear ya. Yeah,
Which, by the way,
just a two up, buddy.
in that game,
Hmm.
I re-rolled ones twice.
At least you could re-roll the one.
No, and I got a 1 twice.
Uh,
So I won 1. Okay, well this turn it's not gonna 1-1. Okay.
alrighty then. I guess it wasn't meant to be.
Why can't High Priest
We're
give me
gonna
another plus
we're
1?
gonna get you somebody to just follow you around,
Yes.
just to roll your dice for you,
Yeah.
just so that you can roll somewhat average. That's what we
I
need.
That's what I need, man. But that was such a good match. I have this hilarious picture. Well, it's awesome, but it's hilarious in what happens next, where it's um, the way I deployed was I put Bastion like in the fucking front, like.
He's gonna come and get you.
And so
Yeah.
I put the camera like literally on the mat and took a picture of him staring out at this like the Maw Crusher and all the other units, and then
Yeah.
like whenever his turn came, he just went like yoink, right around.
Just parted the Red Sea around the man.
He's
Huh?
like, I'm not doing that.
What? Why not? Man obviously was challenging you.
Well,
Darn orcs.
last time I killed my Maw killed his Maw Crusher with like it was some peppering of like some Unleash Hell, and then he came in and was just like, I'm tired of your
Get
shit.
slapped down. Yeah.
Um,
Oh man.
but it's again another incredible match. I'll say this time, the last time I'll say that I did win based off of luck.
Okay.
Because I had 4 Vindictors on a point. Or no, 6. There's 6 Vindictors on the point because I had 18 guys, or 18 models count as on the objective, and he had 17 models.
Oh wow. Okay.
And so, um, was that it? No, they count as 2. They count as 2. So it was 12. Basically, it was like he was 1 behind, and every time he killed a Stormcast, I would kill
You
2
killed
of his.
one or two of his. Yes.
And so, like, I kept on. And the amount of damage he was putting in, there's no way that I should have saved as much as I did.
But you were just doing it. Yeah.
But this time I was a little bit more tactical.
Mhm.
I was a little bit more. I had a little bit of the tactics here and there on him just because I had a little bit more movement. This was the power struggle where you have to hold for 2.
Okay. Yep.
Because I'm not a fan of that battle.
I never am either. I have to place dice around to remember how long
Yeah.
I've been holding things.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, going against Iron Jaws, they don't want to be holding shit without
no,
moving.
they do
Like,
not.
so I ended up winning that one, and then but the good part was my last opponent of the day was a Suns player,
Oh, okay.
a veteran Suns player that was bringing the meta list,
Yep.
and so he basically taught me how to play Suns again.
You got to learn how to play Suns.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I think what I'm going to do for the August tournament is I'm just going to, I think I'm going to run Suns.
Okay. Just going to try the
Because-
meta list and see how it feels,
Yeah,
especially with the Prime Hunters and everything, and see
right.
what you like or what you
Well,
don't.
so with Prime Hunters, that army really is screwed because they're all Prime Hunters, so you can't
Right.
score Prime from it,
Right.
and you only give shit up. So that's
Yep.
already a big negative. But hopefully, no,
Just
that's not
outscore
gonna
your
work.
opponent to the point it doesn't even matter.
Right, right.
We'll
But
see
yeah,
if the new General's Handbook may come out by then too, and maybe things will be modified too.
we'll see. But yeah,
That's
like
a
so
big
that's
question.
it's a I one of the problems, one of my biggest weaknesses as a wargamer is I find a list and then I have a hard time seeing other lists.
Yeah, I want to say I'm like that, but after getting slapped down hard enough, I very quickly went, Cool. We're gonna throw that one in the trash. Start again over here.
Yeah. But no, so basically it's a really easy list, and it's a little it bums me out a little bit how the
Is
list
this
plays out.
the four big guys
Yeah, so it's
list or
four
whatever?
big guys.
Yeah.
Everyone's running four big guys, and they have been the second they became battle line.
Right.
And essentially, it is two of the gate smashers, the executioner
Gate
guys,
Smash. Yeah. And what?
and then two of the chaos guys, the war stompers,
Okay.
and that's the list.
Yeah, because that's it. Yeah.
Yeah. So you go Breaker Tribe instead of Taker Tribe.
Which I know was your thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I went Taker for the extra objective holding.
Right.
But for
Now
Breaker,
we go Breaker to try and kill everybody, right?
Essentially, it's intended. The original intent was for it to be a Gargant list or a Man Crusher list, because the buff on their effects, you get to take this thing where you choose one scenario.
One thing we get
sort
plus
of.
one to hit.
You get
right?
plus one to
Yeah.
hit for all Man Crushers and Gate Crushers, Gate Wreckers,
Okay.
Gate Smashers, Executioners, whatever.
Yeah.
But one of them is like shiny something or other. So it's basically armor. So anyone that
Right.
has a 2, 3, 4 for an armor save, you get plus one to save against them.
Seems pretty good.
I'm like, well, yeah, we'll go with that one. So
Yeah.
half my army is getting
Plus one to hit.
Plus one to hit it all
against
time.
your army. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then because again, like if something does have a 5 or like a 5-6 wound, they're probably a horde army, and then I can switch my deployment and the war stompers go front because they do damage or they get attacks based on model count.
Right. So you just try and pick them up, and if they're on 5 or 6, they probably aren't getting a save anyway.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So yeah. So like I said, I think it's a little disappointing. Well, meh. Like, but who knows? Well, we'll get there. So
all
we'll
good.
try that. He had a fully 3D printed army,
yeah, I do remember seeing that. Yep.
which I'm torn about.
Okay. Yeah, let's have this discussion. What do you think about it?
If you're going to, so I'm two simultaneous minds. One, if you're going to bring a meta list, you're going to pay the meta price.
Okay.
You know, if you want to bring an army that is only 4 models that's going to wreck face by you just pushing it forward and rolling dice, you know, you should pay for it. At the same time, as of right now, because GW is a bunch of idiots with their pricing, that's an $800 army.
Pretty hard to convince somebody to pay $800 to buy an army that's 4 whole models.
Right.
Also, not very friendly to new people trying to enter the hobby to try and convince them, hey, here's this really fun, easy to play list that's good.
Yeah.
It seems you drop $800 on it.
Right. Well, so here's what I'm thinking about splitting the difference because I don't know how long I'm going to play the army, and one of the things that I would find difficult is trying to keep track of multiple of the same units.
That's fair.
The STLs that he used were based off of the actual models.
Okay.
So like
So they look close and similar.
Right.
I do remember seeing them. So yeah.
So there's one that has the executioner hood, and his
Right.
arms are back, and he has 2 flails, and he has a flail in each hand. And I think it
Okay.
looks really fucking cool.
Right.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring one official of each, and then one STL of each. So then that way
Okay.
I can distinguish, and I paid to get in. You know.
Now, I think the big thing right now, especially in the age of 3D printed models and these things, is that'll kind of be up to the event and the store owners, especially that are out there, especially store
Yeah.
owners with gaming space.
Yeah.
Like, people will slowly be doing what this gentleman
Yes.
did, and they'll be showing up saying, here's my 3D printed army. Now, we all know that they aren't going to a Warhammer Open or anything
Right.
like that with that army. However, there's a lot of places that are, as
Yeah,
of right now, they're okay with it, as long as it looks good and everyone can tell what it's supposed to be.
Yeah, I would see there being no issue with him getting into an Adepticon, a Nova, a NashCon, anything like that.
Hmm.
Because again, they were, um,
I remember they were quality models.
yeah, they were
They looked
quality
good,
models. They
well
were
painted.
painted. They were painted with intent, I think is a good way to put it.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. We didn't sit there with an airbrush, hit them,
right, right.
done.
Red, white, blue. Didn't do that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
which, uh, which reminds me. So, well, real quick,
yeah,
I'll
yeah.
hold off on that. So, like, I kind of feel like this is like a. I think my issue with it is it's a two party. It's a
Hmm.
two party silent agreement where GW is supposed to not gouge us for $2 worth of plastic for 100 times the markup, and us the players are supposed to want to try and keep the company in business. And
Right.
so
Yep.
honestly, like again, not to go into a giant tirade about price because we already did this a couple times, but
Right.
GW's broken the agreement.
Yeah, especially if you want to look at that Giants army, I
Right.
can especially agree.
One giant is $200. Two man crushers are 135 for
Yeah,
sculpts that are older than you, Cole.
I don't doubt it. Is the
I
sad part.
What's funny is I started that sentence sarcastically and finished it with that's probably
Shit,
right.
that might be close. Yeah.
Well, I said
Well,
I
hey,
still
until recently, I looked at Eldar models and went, they are older than me.
I, it, I again just one more thing about price. I would have
Hmm.
no problem if they wanted to release a new model and have it be at a little bit of a premium price, and then after say 2 years or after so many have been sold, then it comes down, just to represent we're paying the artist, we're paying for the mold. Once those two things have been satisfied,
I could see that, especially like with the Dragons release we just had for Stormcast.
right,
I think you could probably do something like that where you hit people with the fear of missing out
right,
price of, hey, we all know that these are going to be good tournament play and this is the cool stuff and these are the models you all been wanting. And for the next year, they're going to be expensive, more so. And then afterwards, here's a 10% cut,
yeah.
something like that.
Well, I mean, there's no reason for Giants to be more than 150 for one. Like, even that's ridiculous. It should be 120, but I know we would never get there.
No.
But like, if in next year they drop down to 150 because they've been out for so long, fine,
Right.
fine.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
you did what you needed to do to make your money back.
Right.
I get it. You're a small company at the end of the day,
Yeah.
and you do need to be able to.
Right. We need to keep you in business so we can
Right.
keep playing the game we enjoy and not try and do some sort of thing. We're trying to comp ourselves all the time
Right.
and this and that to make up all this. Or we go, well, what's out there is out there, and
Yeah.
that's it. So, because we
Um,
all know games die after that.
so now on to what this reminded me of because
Yeah.
I whenever I did my man crushers, I actually did the man crushers using contrast for the skin, and it
Okay.
turned out hideous.
All right. Just too big of a flat spot.
Right. Which speed paints.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I have been following speed paints because I love the contrast, and if I had the option to get a couple more shades, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
And so whenever they first came out, everyone started praising them,
I noticed that as well.
and then everyone
We're a
started
few months down the
talking
line.
about how the paint reactivated.
Yeah.
Well, I've still been watching reviews, and so I've been
Okay.
watching a couple reviews that came out in the last month,
Okay.
and there's people in there who actively have been trying to reactivate the pigment and have not been able to.
Interesting.
So what I'm thinking that because Army Painter is also a small company,
Right.
I have a feeling that basically what happened is they got their first batch,
Hmm.
they tested it, it went good, they sent it out to YouTubers and people to
Where
review.
it worked very well. Yep.
There was a second wave that they needed to do reviews for, and something happened with the batch.
It's possible.
And
It's
then,
possible.
because again, if you look at the timeline, there's literally just like a 3 week period where people are complaining about the activation issues.
Hmm.
Not before, not after.
Yeah.
So, and one of the more recent ones, they actually is actually Uncle Adam from Tabletop Minions. He
Okay.
he did a recent review, and he was kind of showing side by side. He's like, "Look, I paint this. Like, I'm painting this model, and now I'm painting it with the speed free, the speed paint."
Okay.
So essentially, what it looks like is the speed paint is it does what contrast does, but less.
Oh.
So it doesn't go into the crevices as much. It doesn't pull from the peaks as much. So it's perfect for broad surfaces such as flesh, cloaks, stuff like that. Whereas
Right.
contrast is still going to be king for stegodons and stuff like that that have a lot of
Yeah, a
texture.
lot of scales and
Yeah,
stuff like that. Yep.
because like I don't know if you remember whenever I painted Teclis, the cloak that I did was in
Mhm.
contrast and it didn't look very good.
Yeah, I do kind of remember there being a spot or two
Um,
where.
well, I mean, it was so bad to the point where people were like, "Wow, that looks bad." I'm like, "Gee, thanks, guys." Like, you're not supposed to say that.
Look, the problem is you did too good of a job on the rest of that army, and so whenever that cloak just glared out at you, you had to be like, Matt, did that get done at like 2 a.m.
It
whenever
did,
you
bud.
were done?
It did. Which, by the way, I was talking to Roger.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is real or not. I don't know if he's just trying to be nice to me.
Mhm.
But Bill is taking Lumineth for Worlds,
Yep.
and Roger says that he's going to be using my models. How
Well,
cool is that?
that'll be very cool. I will, if I see any pictures of them up on Twitter, I will shoot it to you
Oh
immediately.
yeah, like again, like my models in my paint scheme,
Hmm.
painted, finished by Roger, used by Bill at the highest gameplay level
It's
for
pretty
this hobby.
cool. Pretty cool.
And again, I'm telling you, man, I'm the most well-connected person in AOS that you've never heard of. Like,
Fair enough. Fair enough. It's just the area we live in, too.
yeah, oh
We're
yeah,
very
absolutely.
fortunate. Yeah.
But all right, so we have BS for a very long time, and we have a
That's
lot of
okay.
news. So,
We'll rip through news. We'll just gloss over
well,
it.
here,
Nothing
let's
happened really. Let's
yeah.
be honest. Yeah.
So let's get swung over here. So we have a
All
very
right.
important first thing.
Mhm.
So April 2nd, April Fools, the 21st Millennium's new next faction is real. Here's a model to prove it.
Yeah. That is
Um,
it.
Allow me to be the first to welcome our Votan overlords.
Yeah.
So, like I said earlier, after such a romping defeat in AOS, and I've kind of been slumping a little bit in AOS for a while now. Basically, since we got back from LVO, it's just kind of been can't really find my footing. For them to release like the one 40K army that like I
To
wanted
get
so
you.
bad, and like
Yeah.
never wanted to even consider it because it's been decades
I was
since.
gonna say
Right,
that those are models that are older than me. I know
right,
they are.
right. I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure the army was discontinued before you were born.
That's possible. That's possible.
um, I love the aesthetic. Uh, I
Yeah.
love that. I love the weapon. I mean, everything about him is so cool. They released some basic rules. Obviously, they didn't release points yet, but
Right.
they are essentially somewhere between a Sister of Battle and a Space Marine. They're kind of like a Space Marine Scout.
Yeah, it's fair.
Um, and so like, I'm cool with that. I'm
Yeah.
cool with that. They look like they're going to have a lot of vehicles
Yeah.
from the murmurs. So, ha, you can give them. Well, they first off they have a 5 inch move. So, haha.
Got it over on AOS Dwarves already.
I love the in the melee game the dwarves have a 4 inch move. In the shooting game they have a 5 inch move. Like you're just fucking with me. Like
Yeah.
that's
Well, yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Don't
So
worry
yeah,
about it.
so I don't know what I'm gonna do, man. I might be a 40k player for a while, and I might be phoning in the big M power hours for a little bit. That's
That'll be all right. Be all
uh,
right. You can all tell us about your squad army and how it's getting painted.
yeah, that's well, again, we did one 40k RB, and I think it's still the lowest lowest viewed episode we have.
It's
All
all
right,
good.
so let's move along here. So next up, we had April 6th. The Kronspire incarnates grow in power as they bash monsters and devour endless spells. This is our first glance at the monster endless spell incarnate.
Yeah.
I forget if we talked about
The
this last
I
time.
don't remember if we spoke about the terrain kit that also had a model that you had to get.
I feel like we did.
Yeah.
I feel like we did talk about it. So now that it's out, what do you think about the incarnate?
Now that I've seen rules for the incarnate, I think it's good. It runs along a similar design concept as Marathi, in that you can't just outright kill it immediately. I don't think it's going to force its way into too many lists at 400 points.
Yeah, that's real rough. It seems like all the armies that could use this kind of damage boost, can't afford 400 points
Right,
cut
for a
from their
single
army.
body. Yeah. I think if we end up with perhaps more of a magic meta, uh, armies that don't have good endless spell protection might take this, because this is another way to dispel magic. So,
Yeah. I was shocked at how big the thing is.
same, same. The pictures did not make me realize how huge everything in that box set was.
I I haven't heard anyone else talk about this, so I assume I'm in the vast minority on this one. I think the model's dumb. It does
The
nothing for me.
the model, when I first saw it, I went, "Is that something from Lumineth Realm Lords?" Because of the spinning swirl, just made
Yeah.
me think of the foxes and everything like that.
Yeah,
And
and like for me, I just thought it was like I'm like okay, so we're getting more endless spells.
right,
Like it doesn't look like a I don't know. I
a
feel like it should have
beast.
been a little bit more substantial.
I don't think it would have hurt the model. I agree.
Yeah, and like I said, so to retouch on that terrain box, man, that's so dumb.
Yeah, this guy should have been in a box on his own.
There is no reason to like. So the Lumineth conversion terrain is really
Mhm.
cool. You can just sell that on its own. Like
Yep.
you're already overcharging for those two stupid walls so much more than it needs to be, and like
Yeah.
I don't know what you're gonna do with that dumb skeleton thing. Like it doesn't block line of sight, and everyone's just gonna be like, I don't know what this is gonna count as for me to move over it, and
Right. Yeah.
and I guarantee what's gonna happen most of the time is just move it out of the way. Just move it.
Yeah. Well, here's what's actually going to happen, I'll bet. It's going to get broken into pieces. Someone's going to make a base and set the pieces on the base. Call
Yeah,
it good.
yeah. Well, I
That's
don't
what's
know.
going to happen with it.
I wish I had pictures of it, but if you go to Twitter and do at strengthhammer underscore,
Yeah.
I think also his Instagram at strengthhammer underscore. But
Probably.
Chuck used the head
Oh,
of that
yes.
skull as the base for his avatar of Cain, which he put on the giant base so he can use it as a giant for
A
allied
mercenary
purposes for his
giant.
Daughters
Yeah.
of Cain, which I think is just an awesome idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are you going to use this in any list that you have?
I have been trying to build lists with it. I am struggling right now in Deepkin to build lists with it.
Yeah.
There is a possibility down the road, lists I feel need more staying power, or if I try to build a list that wants to pin my opponent back, I will try to use this guy. But I will not be buying the entire train set to do it. Now that
Yeah,
there are
that's
some
it.
in the wild, I will probably make my own skeleton thing on a base
Mm-hmm.
and make sure I get close to the height and call it good. That's
Yeah,
where
if
I'm
this
at
thing was
currently.
being sold on its own for like here's the other problem. If it was being sold on its own, it'd probably be $80, if not
Right.
100.
If it was being sold on its own for $50,
Yeah.
I'd just buy one.
Yeah.
I'd be done with it.
I don't know if I would buy one, but I would be tempted.
Yeah.
So yeah, I looked at it and I looked at my list and I'm like, no, pass.
That's fair.
Okay, April 7th, Wars of Racket and Throndia. Let's see what this. This talks about the new Path to Glory rules in there.
Right.
I didn't go into too much depth on this one. I just thought it was interesting to see Path of Glory get something.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would kind of like to see a little bit more of a Path to Glory support.
Yeah.
But I also don't want to get it too bogged down. All right, so moving along here to the next one that I actually do want to talk about here on April 8th, the Anvil of Apotheosis returns.
Good.
Again, I'm so happy to see this. I was so disappointed whenever they stopped supporting it immediately.
Yeah.
I still would love for them to make a Anvil of Apotheosis builder on the website.
Ooh, that'd be a good one. Yeah.
They never will, but it would be. I would love for them to do it. But
yeah.
I looked over it and I was kind of hoping they would have tweaked it a little bit more, put a little more balance into it. It does look like they fixed mounts a little bit.
Okay.
I don't know if I would take one.
Yeah, I think I'm still in that boat too. It's like, yeah, my hero's supposed to have a mount because of the lore I've built, but man, why am I paying the points for it?
I mean, the monstrous mount is expensive, but I think if you build, if you actually grow the character, I think you could get something out of it. But yeah, like I said, if anything, this honestly was the reason why I picked up my Throndia book.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Just get the Throndia book and do this and have fun with it. And
yeah,
like I said, this is one of the things, like, whenever it comes to Path to Glory, it's where I get upset that we're all spread to the winds. Because I would love to have hey, I'm not doing D&D Friday night. Who's going down to Fabricator Forge to play some Path to Glory?
Yes. No, I agree. I would really like to get more Path to Glory in. We tried to for that little bit. As a group, but damn, is it difficult?
Yeah, it's so hard whenever we're all so far away and we're all
right. Whenever you get together, you all just want to be like, well, let's just play a 2K game and enjoy that. Yeah.
Okay. Here, we're getting rid of this article. I don't need to hype about Underworld. Okay, so let's see. Is this no? So this. It's not really about anything here. April 12th, the darkness deepens. Answers awaited. Await under the lowest regions of Harrowdeep. I need to check something here. We're gonna do this live here.
Do a little live look around. It's all right. We already decided we're doing it all live today. Yeah, man, that's fine.
Oh, that's wrong. Wrong tab, people.
Oh, geez. Oh, boy. What did you just show them?
You're looking for the real experience. That's what you're getting today, folks.
Mm-hmm. Whether you want it or not.
Okay, let's see. Okay, so Warhammer Underworld's Nethermaze is $95.
Yeah, it's a starter box.
Which
like a start collecting or this. Yeah,
it's fine. That's fine. $95 for that. Like I said, I'm upset that the price went up. It's fine though.
Right, it's a box board game. That's what complex board games run a lot of time
Warhammer Underworld's Nethermaze Rivals of the Harrowdeep, $80.
Mm-hmm.
You can go fuck yourself. Now, I know, based on the other two, the Exiled Dead and the Black Powder Buccaneer being sold at $42, which is a price hike that I'm still not comfortable with. $35 was awesome. So yes, we are technically saving $4, but I don't want the fucking Cruel Boys. Don't make me pay $15 less for 90% less. maybe not 90, but like I'm missing the board, I'm missing the tokens, I'm missing all the generic
Right.
cards. Like that's ridiculous. Just sell
Hmm.
the damn things individually. I want
Yeah.
that warband so bad, but I'm not going on eBay for it, and I'm not buying it in a pack with shit I don't want. Because at this point, I'm going to take those cards and I'm going to throw them out. Because I have no interest in Underworlds anymore. The only thing that Underworlds does for me is it tells me where we're going next. So, 2023, we're going to Ulgu, and we're going to see. We'll see.
We'll
So,
see.
yeah. April 14th, Middle Earth, Faction Focus, Fiefdoms of Gondor. What? That's my army. This army's awesome. Play this army. Play Middle Earth. Moving along. What's this one? Another April 14th. The Portal Yawns, the Heart of the... Is this another one of the... Yeah, another story one. Just move on. But
Yep.
look. Rats from eggs. Are they mammals? We don't know. Is this another... Okay, here we go. All right. Now, revealed! Marathi's elves clash with Hessian assassins in Warhammer Underworld's Nether Maze. So this is where we got to see the new warbands, and
Yep.
they are both super cool.
Yes.
As much as it's funny, I again, only person in the world that hates fighting Skaven. But
Yep. I think you're right.
I think the Clan Ashen stuff looks so cool.
Agreed.
I was seeing a couple people on. I love this one. That's the last one they show is he's jumping off the smoke.
You don't think about it. It'll be fine. Personally, I like the guy with the hood down, just covering his eyes. Looks
Oh, yeah.
real rogue-like to me. I'm a big fan.
That's really cool. And like, this is what drives me nuts. It's like, so we'll get to it in a minute here, but jumping ahead a little bit, one of the reveals they had was a new Death Master, I believe is what it's called.
Hmm.
Well, the Death Master that they had was already still pretty cool, whereas like the rank and file Eshin look awful.
Yeah, they could use a little love. That's what I was hoping to see whenever they said
Yeah.
something about Skaven. Like, hey guys, by the by,
And I get it, like they're doing so much. We know they're doing the guard
Right.
refresh. We know they're working on again, jumping ahead, they're doing Dawn Guard from scratch now. Like I understand
Yep.
they got so many, but like is it really so hard to release like a 10-pack of Clan Rats, 10-pack of Monk, 10-pack of Hessian?
since everything is so monopose and so meticulously detailed nowadays, I think it probably is getting to the point that the amount of time and resources that are put into creating new models, it might actually just be that difficult nowadays.
I guess, but
I think they would have to lower their standards for model quality.
well, I think they need to for Horde armies because you don't want your individual models sticking out that much.
I suppose.
Um,
I also don't want to paint a million very detailed models,
exactly.
but here I am having just taken 80 thralls to an event, so I can't say much.
And then we have the Marathi side where we see another glimpse of the what are they I forget what
What
they're
was
called.
it? The Mist
Shadeborn.
Weavers or Shroud Queen, right? Yeah.
Well, that's the main person, but these Shadeborn. So this is the same thing
Oh, yes.
that
yes.
that came out for Warcry
Yep.
that is not represented in the army, which is very interesting to me.
Yeah. Yeah, these gentlemen are
So
cool.
I think it's weird that there's dudes in an army called Daughters of Cain, but
Don't ask. Don't ask.
but they're all so cool. They're very, very cool.
Yep.
I'm shocked that we now have 2 representations of this facet of the army with 0 representation in the actual army itself.
Yeah, and I don't know if we ever will see what must be just a very tiny sect
Yeah,
of this
that is
army
true as well.
lore-wise. Yeah.
So let me ask this. Let me throw this wild theory out and see what you have to think about it.
Hit me with it.
What do you think about the possibility of them rolling Daughters of Cain into Umbreneth. And so this is like the link between the two.
So, knowing that there's a Daughters of Cain book going to come out here in the next few weeks,
Well, yeah,
I
but
would have to tell you that you're crazy.
well, let's say that Umbreneth aren't coming out for 2 years.
I feel like there's enough of a model range
That is
for
true.
Daughters right now that it is a very standalone thing at the moment.
But tell that to Harlequins.
Tell that to the Auric War clans.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, I can see your argument.
Would be interesting.
It could be. It could be.
I'm gonna
These
say
guys could
no.
be the link between. I have to agree with you. I think the answer is no. But if you tried to argue with me with it,
But I couldn't give you 100% no.
no.
My
I could.
answer's no.
It's 100% no. Yeah.
Let's see what else we got. Oh, we got okay, just a better picture here of the rats
the
all
box.
together,
Yep.
and a little bit of the preview of the rules. I don't care if you care. Just pause it or look up the article yourself. That's great. April 21st. Next supplement of Middle Earth strategy battle game focuses on the Dragon Emperor. So this is, again, like I said, I feel like Middle Earth is on borrowed time now that we have the seemingly blasphemous Amazon show about ready to come out here in the next couple months, and the series being well over. And on top of that, the narrative of the Middle Earth strategy battle game reaching the conclusion of the books. Everything we get, I feel like, is a little bit of a blessing. I think it's really cool that we're going into focusing on lands further than Mordor. We're looking at we're looking at Rune. We're looking at we'll probably see some Corsair stuff. Who knows? Like I said, I mean, I'm interested to see where it goes. And then we're also, so the name of the book is Defense of the North, which is very interesting because the serpent cult is in the southeast of Mordor, and then they show Thrain, who is from the Iron Hills, which is equidistant north of Mordor. So it would take several months of travel to get up there. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm probably gonna take a look to see what's in the book before I get it. But if I had room, I would buy it.
Right.
And the new Emperor model looks fucking badass.
Yeah, no, completely agree. As somebody who's not the biggest Lord of the Rings, like, I suppose, aficionado, I was very well not aware that these people even existed inside of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
And I thought they were really cool for me to discover and have to stop and go, well, who are these people and where do they come from? What happened?
Yeah. So that's one of the things that I've always been fascinated with because they don't really go into too much depth. There is a whole area of Harad, Umbar, Khan. You have all this area here, and then that they don't really touch. But we see them a little bit in the Fields of Palinor, where the Mumek show up and everything like that, and they're all kind of just weaved in there, and they're represented very well in the movie, but they're not talked about at all. So it's really cool to see them, and GW's always done a very good job of respecting the IP and doing right by them. So I don't play this army, but I hope I find someone that does so I can play against it. Yeah, man. Play Middle Earth, man.
Very cool. Very cool.
So then we had we'll first leak of the episode. Slaves of Darkness, new battle tome, and Demon Prince unveiled. So we had a book leak 6-7 months early.
Probably close to 7. Yeah. Yeah.
which we will be getting
Which,
into in a little bit more depth. But just to talk about the model here, what do you think of our new Demon Prince?
oh boy, I think this is a solid improvement over what we had.
Yeah,
And I am a fan. I'm here for it. I'm very happy to see this new Demon Prince.
yeah, I'll definitely put it in the A tier. And I'm
Yeah.
going to say that it can easily be in the S tier depending on variety of spare bits.
Yeah, especially today, I believe it. We got a reveal for some of the different heads you can put on
Yeah.
this model, and oh boy, it is awesome looking.
So we got an updated roadmap, a very
Yep.
ambitious roadmap.
I think it was a well. You guys kind of caught the end of our year somehow, some way. So guess we better let you know not to think about this army for a while.
Which I think is smart. It was very
I
smart of
think so
them.
too.
I don't
Yeah.
necessarily know if they had to reveal the rest of the roadmap. I mean, I'm always
Yeah, I
more
think you're right.
information.
They did not need to give us anything about autumn,
But if they would have
but I'm
said,
glad.
if I was GW, here's what I would have said.
Hmm.
I would have been, look, guys, we didn't really want this to go out now, but just so you know, we want to set expectations. This book is slated for Q1 of 2023.
Yeah, you could have just said that and backed away.
And then, if time comes, everything's still on track, and you release it on Q4 of 2022, everyone's going to shit themselves to death.
Right, right. Everyone's very happy. Yeah.
So with that being said, we now know that summer is what we thought. Sylvaneth versus Skaven. So for autumn,
Boy, 4 more books.
okay, what is your guess on Destruction One?
Destruction 1, I think, has to be the Gloomspite gets.
Okay, okay. What do you think about Destruction Two?
Destruction 2 is a toss up for me. Either this is Sons of Behemoth, release number 2, or, well, I guess there's only 4 armies. What am I talking about? It has to be one of those two. I honestly think this is Ogres myself. I don't think this is Sons of Behemoth 2. I think this is Ogres getting an update they haven't had in a long time.
I personally think it's very bizarre. It's very interesting. So, like, I honestly feel like they don't really hold Gloomspite Gets as a priority.
Okay.
So, I think it is Ogres and Sons. Now, the
Okay.
only asterisk or the only doubt I have with Sons is that they did get a White Dwarf.
Yeah, see, that's what makes me think it isn't going to be Sons. Is I think if you get a White Dwarf, you're not getting anything inside the next year.
Yeah.
That is like an admission.
Right. But I also don't want it to be Gits because I want to see them get a little bit of a refresh. Like, I know they just got Trolls, or some Trolls.
They just got Trolls. They just got a lot of the Squigs
That's true.
are new
It's Swigs.
for that army.
So, yeah. So
The only thing that would need refresh would be the baseline infantry.
Yeah. Which, it doesn't look terrible. It just,
No, it really
when it's
doesn't.
on the table, you look at it and go, yeah, you're kind of old.
Right.
All right. What do you think about Order?
Order is a difficult one for me, just because there are so many Order armies. I was going until today. I was going to say it would be cities, but now I know that is not the case anymore.
I can.
Is this no? I'm half scared to say this is another Lumineth book.
I can almost guarantee you it's Lumina.
Ah, dang.
I can feel it in me bones. It's
It needs to be Seraphon, is what it needs to be.
the problem is I have a feeling the Seraphon book. I have a feeling Seraphon's going to be top dog for quite a while.
I think so too, especially
I-
the way that some things are going.
Right. I feel
Yeah.
like if they were to get a battle tome right now, they would be even stronger and dominate even harder. So I have no problem with them putting that on the back burner because I think the army works well in third edition. I don't think there's a lot of hang-ups.
No,
Whereas,
the only thing that I think worries me for Seraphon is the fact they can just look at you and say, "Are you damaged more than one?"
yes, that needs to go
Mm,
away.
yeah,
Um,
or it needs to become more limited. Doesn't need to
right,
go away, just
right.
more limited.
Again, I have no problem with them going monsters in this unit or monsters in this army have -1 to
Sure.
damage. Okay,
Or be a command trait that says this unit now is being affected by
right.
it.
Yeah, I mean, just something. Army
Right.
wide is a little nuts.
It hurts. It
But
hurts.
we'll get into some nuts
Yeah.
army wide shit later on here.
Mm,
So I think we both agree that's going to be Lumineth. Um,
sadly, yep.
what do you think Chaos is?
Chaos, I think, is going to be one of our gods. This will either be Slanesh or Korn, is my guess. And I'm kind of leaning Slanesh
See,
because I don't want to hold out hope for Korn
this what's
anymore.
funny is I think this one. I think again. I think Slanesh. I feel like they again Slanesh. I feel Slanesh and Korn are low priority to them. They're not big
Mhm.
sellers at this point because the rules aren't super hot, and so they're not too worried about it. I think again, not to be contrarian, but I
No,
think
no, you're
I think
okay.
it's Zinch. I think it's Zinch.
Okay. Yeah.
I think it should be Beast of Chaos, but I think it's Zinch.
Well, like we said earlier, Beast got their white dwarf. Their
Right.
white dwarf was good. They're not seeing a book.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I can see Zinch. I'll give you Zinch. Especially if they can somehow figure out the pink horror deal while they're doing it.
Honestly, I
I know that's like impossible at this point, I think.
again for me, I honestly feel like whenever it comes to, I think pink horrors are an easy fix. I think first they're no longer battle line. Get that out of there.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
know, I know, but
Yeah, you just had a lot of people scream at you through the screen right there.
again, like here's the thing: if they're going to be that strong, you cannot have a 200-point Gargant model on the table. Like it
Right.
just doesn't work. I mean, and here's the other thing: is I think you need to break up the War Scroll again. So you need to go. This is the pink profile. This is the blue profile. This is the brimstone profile, and um, make it so they can't rally and you can't bring models back to the unit. Then, essentially, you just put in a rule: if there's any pinks left, you use the pink profile for or for damage
Right, right.
purposes, obviously, and then just do it that way. And then you make it so okay, so you have a bunch of brimstones on there. In hell, if you want to do each brimstone counts as half a model for contesting an objective, do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
if you
think
can
the
do
big thing
double,
that
you can do
hurts,
half.
yeah, I think the big thing that hurts me with that, with the pinks right now, is that you don't start counting battle shock until you're killing brimstones.
Yeah, and that's
And that is
also
painful. Like,
yeah.
if I rip through 20 of those pinks and blues, I want you to have to at least spend the command point to not have to take that battle shock.
Yeah, I mean, but again, like if you split them up, now all of a sudden you
Mhm.
have pinks at a 5-up save, blues at
Right.
a 6-up save, and brimstones with no save.
Right.
And now all of a sudden you have exponentially removed their defense.
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
now a model that can be shifted. And again, if you make brimstone so they only count as half a model on the objective, now all of a sudden that's compatible.
Right. Very easily by the time you're down to brims. Yeah. That'd
And
be a
that
fun
way
way of doing it.
it's not instead it is instead of it being a brick that just will not move from the battlefield, now it goes through a story and an evolution.
That's fair.
And again, yes, Zinj players are going to hate it,
Right.
but it's going to make the army more playable. You can put your army on the table without your opponent going, ugh.
Right.
Which
Right.
again, I don't know about you, but me, the last thing I want is to me put my army down on the table and my opponent go, "Fuck, I don't want to play this match."
Right. No, I never want to sit down across from my opponent and them go, well, I lost this because I have to fight that. I want
Right.
to have a fun game
Right.
every time.
And again, yes. And again, also on top of that, if you do that, you can bring the points down a little bit and you can do more with your army.
Right.
So, yeah. All right, moving along here. So then we
Yeah.
got, what do we have? The ethereal Nighthaunt are now even tougher to banish back through the realm of death. We'll just
Do you just want to make the shift over to that whole deal?
we'll
Where
hold off. We'll hold off.
Okay.
We'll hold
Okay.
off. Look at some models. Yay, people! Look at the models. Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll keep that here just for quick references. Let's see. Okay. And then we have reveals. So you know what? Let's switch over to our rumor engines,
Sure.
and then we'll kind of do that as our news piece. So we have. That's not the right one. Where are you? There you are. April 5th, I believe, is the last one here, which I feel like we
Yeah.
did.
It's possible it was this, or was the little weird one that was in a beard at one point?
So
Because I think it was one of these guys that was also inside of a beard or some
yeah,
sort of hair.
yeah. So I said um, Oathbreakers
Yeah.
for the guy with the beard, and so for this one, I'm also going to say Oathbreakers because it looks like the same creature.
I think it looks like the same creature. It is
Um,
some sort of terrifying subterranean beast.
yeah, I mean,
Well, the baby version of it.
yes. I mean, I can imagine this being almost like these things being like the little helpers to the Oathbreakers. These could be like these to Oathbreakers as Nurglings to Nurgle or Nobblers
Right.
to Ogres.
Hmm.
And I think that'd be cool. I think it'd be cool to have these little guys all around the place laughing at you, throwing coal at things.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm just going to leave it at Oathbreakers. Do you want to venture anything weird?
I don't have anything weirder than that to venture.
All right. All right, so let's close that window here, closing this window. Okay. So then we have from April 12th.
Yeah.
Um,
We've got somebody in plate mail standing on a very strange rock.
so I don't know what. So here's the thing. I don't know if you know what those feet are.
I feel like I should. I know the shape, but I can't
Um,
pinpoint it.
but because like again, I watch all the different shows and everything, and
Right.
because I love hearing what people think about the Rumor Engine. Again, it's my favorite segment of the whole show.
That's fine.
Not one person correctly pointed out that these are Stormcast feet,
I see it.
but that's exactly what they are. I've literally painted hundreds of Stormcast feet at this point. This is exactly how they do the feet.
Huh.
So this leads to the question, though. We've already got Stormcast, the army.
Yep. Yep.
We've already got Stormcast, the warband.
Yep.
Warcry doesn't typically have bases like that.
No. Is this maybe just a Warhammer store only model that they're just doing a rumor engine on?
That's the good idea. That could definitely be
Like, welcome to the store
Anniversary
anniversary
store.
model? Yeah.
the other thing I was thinking of. This could potentially be Curse City,
Okay.
because Curse
Isn't it-
City does not have a Stormcast this time.
Okay.
Now I will admit the face, the statue is not exactly
Yeah.
Dark or Curse City esque.
This guy also looks very light on that rock, just from the
I think
pose we
I
got with
think it
these
is a
feet.
female.
Okay.
I think it is
yeah.
a female Stormcast.
Okay.
But what's interesting to me, and I don't know if you can shed a little bit more light than me, that looks like an IDK statue.
I couldn't help you. I don't think we have any models of any sort of IDK statues or anything like that. There's
Well,
nothing.
I mean, it kind of looks like some of your guys with souls, or with eyes at least. A lot of
I
smooth
suppose.
textures. It's a little hard to see
What-
if that one ear's pointed or not.
What if it's Zinchen? with eyeballs and things like that.
Well, the problem is the eyeballs are where they're supposed to be.
All right, fair enough. Fair enough.
If there was another eye starting above
Yeah.
the one,
I
okay, well,
yeah, I
maybe.
can see it. I can see we've got an
I
elven face
I
there,
think you're right though. I
features and
think an
stuff.
anniversary model. I wasn't even
Okay.
thinking about that. But yeah, it's definitely a Stormcast. I don't know what I'm missing that other people are seeing, but to me, it's Stormcast through and through.
Right. I can see it.
All right, let's move along here to the 19th. Really giving
Yeah.
us a lot to work off of here.
Not I mean, I really don't know. So we are some sort of primitive race that is struggling to hold a stick together by using tape. Really
Uh,
struggles with the concept of nails. Uh,
it's so weird because like to me it's two different things. So you have the stick with the trunk
mhm.
with the nails. That to me says AOS.
Yeah.
But if you look at what it's taped to, you have the checkerboard pattern.
Oh, I just noticed the checkerboard pattern,
And that to
which
me,
instantly goes 40k orcs.
right. And they did come out with like savage-ish orcs.
Yeah,
So
that
I
they did.
wonder if there's a second line coming out.
It's a possibility. Yeah, no, once I see that checkerboard pattern, I don't know what to argue that was going to be. See, I was going to argue this may have gone with some sort of strange destruction army that maybe the little baby gremlin thing from April 5th would have gone with.
Yeah, no, I
Yeah,
said
I don't know.
it's hard to see what I'm even looking at because I don't know what. Yeah, again, I'm gonna
It's
go.
a weird mallet. That's all I got.
Like I was originally kind of thinking like maybe like a cultist of some sort, like
Hmm.
something for I don't know, maybe Necromunda or something. But yeah,
I'm gonna
I'm gonna say an orc thing.
I'm gonna go way out on a really crazy limb here and just screw with everybody. This is something for an upcoming ogre release. That's it.
Okay, all right,
Yeah,
all right. And the last one we have from the 26th,
yeah.
the old buglehorn.
The old buglehorn that I've seen people go, "Hey, isn't that the endless spell from Beasts of Chaos?"
And I'll give him credit; it does look like that.
Yep.
So do you think we're gonna get some new beast armies or beast models?
No, and that's partially because of some of the leaks that occurred with the Slaves of Darkness stuff.
Hmm.
Something in there, I think, was called the Horn of something or other,
Well, so
and
that's a little
I'm
different. There's the Horn of Hashut,
yeah, that
which is
probably a person or something.
yeah, it's a
Okay,
it's we're gonna talk about the Horn of Hashut. Don't worry.
okay,
um, so yeah, so I don't know if that is a warband or if it is a unit that they're doing, but
right.
yeah, I don't know if what drive
And
what
this is hard for me to say. This is going to be a beast thing, just because it almost looks like a terrain piece,
that's
just
exactly
from
what I
what
was
we can
just gonna
see.
say. I was like, if I just were to if I were to get rid of everything and like just go purely off of what this looks like, forgetting about what everything exists, I would say that this is going to be some sort of terrain kit that is more savage than like the savage counterpart of the ramparts we got
Right. Right.
for
Welcome to
Stormcast.
the rest of your Gur table, essentially.
So yeah, you know what? We'll go with that. I'm gonna say it's another terrain kit that's gonna be a little bit more for savages.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see.
No, no argument here.
All right, so we'll move straight along into our main topic. We're going to go over some reveals and we're going to go over some leaks. Um,
Sure.
so the we'll start off with the 40k because they did that stuff first. We got a look at the Chaos Space Marine book, which can you give it an 11 out of 10? Can we give it
Yeah,
101%? Like,
that cover, very well good. We waited a long time for this book. I guess we were just waiting on that artist because dang.
I mean, I'm just looking here. So, like, right
And
now I have which ones are these? These are the possessed Chaos Space Marines. Like,
oh yes, the refresh possessed.
this is what
Perfect.
I wanted in my Chaos stuff from the beginning. I want things to be a little hard to look at, you know?
Very alien, very what has happened here. Yeah.
There's a reason why I really like the last sculpts of the pink horrors, where you literally have blues trying to rip themselves out of pinks.
Okay.
Because to me, like I said, chaos is supposed to be hard to deal with,
Right.
like just on a conceptual level. Like
Right. You're supposed to look at it and it maddens you. Yeah.
right. And like so, these guys are just everything they came out with is just fucking amazing. Like even the cultists, and we just got cultists
Yeah.
not too long ago. Like I didn't think we needed more cultists, but
They look great.
yeah, they're awesome. I love the fact that they've came out with the like this cultist mutation line.
Oh yes.
Like I'm looking in here right now. I have it on screen. The one whose head is melting into his body and his chest is forming a new
Is a
mouth.
mouth. Yeah. That guy is terrifying.
That's and he's smiling. Like that's what.
He's having a good time right now, you know?
And one guy's turned into a weird starfish, and one guy who
Yeah.
just has bony scythe arms now, and like
Yeah.
here's a guy who's a tentacle growing out of his mouth. Like eh, this is what chaos is. And then of course, then we have the torments,
Oh. Yeah.
where we have the guy who has Slanesh's dick for an arm.
There we go.
But like,
He looks like he had a miserable time of it, though. This guy is not smiling. He legitimately had something rip its way out of him.
oh yeah, I mean,
It's a bad day.
it's I love how disorganized the demon ripping out of his body is. Like
I mean, yeah, the next one too, where the demon looks like it ripped out of the guy's back and
yeah,
stuff. Like,
I mean,
oh,
these things are awesome. Like then the next guy who has literally the demon body is ripping out of his leg. Like
yeah,
the level of quality that these guys are,
yeah,
that makes me want to do a Chaos Space Marine.
yeah.
And then
These are
I know everyone really liked the Dark Commune. I thought they were fine, but they like if they would have showed these first and then show the other stuff,
you'd have been more on board.
because they kind of remind me of Nazgul.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who kind of thought that with the helmets and stuff
Yeah.
and the sword. But yeah,
they're Nazgul, so I definitely like them there. But like I said, I mean, whenever you have everything we just friggin' saw, and now you
Right.
need friggin' counseling for, here's some guys that are a little corrupt. Like
right, yeah, they're thinking about falling to chaos, whereas these cultists up above, they've committed.
Yeah.
Okay,
so yeah, so this release, 11 out of 10, 105%. I'm
Yeah.
so happy for Chaos Space Marine players. They've needed it for a long time, and they finally got it.
And congratulations to all the new Chaos Space Marine players who will be
Yes.
jumping onto this because, damn, it looks great.
Then our next one, while I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth, we only get one new model for
Oh.
Voltan.
Only one, he says.
Only
Hey, we're
one.
getting something.
Yes, like I said, looking a gift horse in the mouth.
Yep.
I love it still. I love this
Yeah.
trike. I want to take 4 of them. I was looking at the space or at the squad and it driving it, and they're like, "Oh, you'll notice there's no beard. This is how you can tell it's a woman." I'm like, "What now?"
No, just looking at the model itself, I see the coil packs underneath of it
Oh, I love
for
the
each of the
coil
wheels, and I'm sitting there going, "Oh, that looks like an electromagnet."
Yes.
So this is like operating off of the magnetic field of the planet they're on and stuff.
Oh
And I'm just
yeah.
like, oh, my nerd brain is so happy to see this.
I love the color scheme, man. I really do. I don't
It
know
looks
what
great.
I can't pin what I'll tell you. There's one way
Hmm.
to make me absolutely love a color scheme is make it so I can't pin down the color.
Right.
Like I can't tell if that's a color that we already have. I don't know if it's a color that they're going to come out with. Um, I love that the holster for this shotgun revolver is like right
Yeah.
here on the trike.
Right.
And
I
can I?
all Yeah, go ahead.
I love this. I love this shotgun revolver so much.
It's very cool. No, I think it's really cool. If you start looking around the model, like you said about the holster, you can tell she was set up to go out and be in the field for a long time. On her
Yes.
back, all that stowage on the back side of this trike.
Yep.
Like, how do you know this is a scout?
The bedroll
Well,
in
she
front.
was planning on hanging out there for a while, okay?
Yeah, like I said, this army just it continues to impress. I the only thing I hope is that I'll be able to destroy Dave's Tyranid. If I don't win any other games with it, as long as I never lose to Dave, I'll be happy.
That's good.
That's all
That's
I
for you,
ask for.
Dave. I think we'll all just be very excited to see what you paint as you continue with this army
Yeah, I
when it
think what I'll
comes
do is
out.
I think I'll go. I'll do a gradient of orange to yellow on everything, and it just
Oh, really? Yeah, and really hate yourself the whole time you do it. I mean,
So the next reveal was something right up your alley. The World Eaters.
oh, yes. I was so happy to see they finally got around to getting another one of the main Chaos Gods and their
Let's see if I
followers.
can
We're
find
going to
it.
hit them up. We're going to give them their touch. Here's a lot of axes. So
Yeah,
yeah, no, I'm excited to have more Corn Berserkers running around
I forget if they
and for there to
showed.
be 2 wounds a pop and just having fun.
No, I was a little
Trying
disappointed. Like it, they didn't really show any models or
No.
anything. Which, like, I kind of wanted to see something, but if they're just showing concept
They
sketches of the axes,
Yeah. I When I noticed that, I was a little worried, but at this point, having seen what the rest of the models looked like from this reveal,
yeah,
I trust whatever's going to come up.
yeah.
I fully trust them right now.
Like I said, that's one thing. Like, even though I typically don't have too much interest in Chaos Space Marines,
Hmm.
um, I've always felt like Chaos, the CSM should have equal treatment to Space Marines. So like you should have your Thousand Sons, Death Guard, World Eaters, and Children, Emperor's Children, all as
Hmm.
their own book, or
Yep.
sub book now with how Space Marines
Right.
do it.
Same way of how Space Marines do. Yeah.
And then in the book itself should be different rules for like if you want to play, was it Iron Warriors, Black
Yeah.
Legion, if you want to do stuff like that.
Right.
But yeah, so I'm super looking forward to this. I'm interested to see where they go with it, and we'll
Yep.
see. So this is
Yeah.
where they go into a little bit more detail with the 40k Demon Prince,
Yeah.
which have they said if it's the same model or not?
I don't know if they've said whether or not it's the same model. Now I need to go have a bit of a quick little look see. But I'm assuming that at least the head options and everything.
Yeah,
Obviously, I assumed
I
that
know.
earlier. Um,
Um, yeah,
yeah, this is a great looking model, and we need all of them to look like this.
yeah. I think worst case scenario, I think the scaling is going to be close. So even if we don't
Hmm.
get a lot of detail on ours, I think you'll be able to pick up a bit of the head that you want and just easily
Yes.
get it to work.
Yeah, you will hop online, grab whatever your chosen Chaos God's head is,
Yeah.
plop it on top, be happy.
All right, and then so then for the AOS, the first reel we had was a singular new Skaven model of
Yeah.
the Deathmaster. Um, It
Yeah,
would not have been on the top of my list of models that needed new models.
that's fair.
Um,
That's fair.
Again, we're getting a new Battle Tome.
Yeah.
Hope y'all choke. I,
Jeez. Jeez.
Take your Jezreels, take your fucking I forget what else garbage is in there. Take your Warp Lightning Cannon right up your butt. But
I think you should all enjoy your new
here,
book. Personally, let me tell
let
you.
me put it this way. I cordially invite you to have sex with yourself. That's
Wow. Okay.
go have the sex with yourself. That's
Well, for those
um
of you excited about this game, and good for you.
yes, I applaud you on your many future victories against me. That's um now again, to be fair, I did that was Alex's first army, and
That's fair. Okay.
holy god! And
Yeah.
then there was the Ren 4 where I went
Oh, that
five
Ren Fort.
5 rounds in a row of Skaven of all these filthy lists back to back to back. Going
Yeah.
0 to 5 to them, like ugh. But on a happier note, don't play Skaven, play Sylvanath.
Yeah. Yeah, you should.
Um, I hope they make this army good.
Me too.
Um, my my biggest hope, which I
Mhm.
think we are not going to get,
Okay.
because I only have one hope for the book, and that is I like the new Alarial War Scroll,
Okay.
but
But
it doesn't do shit for the army.
it is a war scroll that lives on its own.
Which I feel like, so if you look at the other god models, so we have
Mhm.
essentially have Archeon, who
Yep.
that's fine. Everyone's serving Archeon. There's only some synergies between him and the Varangard, and the Varangard help him. Um, to the best of my knowledge.
Yeah.
And same thing with Nagash. Nagash is a little on his own because he really doesn't care about anything. Makes sense, works. Marathi, kind of same thing. Like everyone's working for her. She goes off on her own and she does her own thing.
Right.
However, you also have the bow snake, so you like have like this major synergy there that makes the army. It literally takes an
It
A
makes it
tier book
hum.
and makes it a S plus.
Right.
And then of course you have Teclis, who is the bread and butter example of synergy between god and army.
Yeah. Yep.
He by himself is nothing. The army by itself is nothing. Well, with a Teclis build.
Right.
So I
Unless
would
you're doing the
really
Fox build.
right, right. Um, so I would really like Alariel to really benefit her army, because one of the issues that I have with the Sylvaneth book right now is there's no defense in the army.
No, there isn't. Not
Um,
for what should be a defensive army.
and it doesn't necessarily have to be a defensive army, but
The
there's
way
no
it's built.
offense. There's no
No,
offense in the army.
no,
So
no. Not
um,
currently. Maybe gonna change
yeah.
with this.
So first we have the Lady of Vines.
Yeah.
I'm really interested to see what her war scroll looks like.
Yeah.
I now I will say
Hmm.
when I first saw her, I was completely awestruck because of everything going on. Now that I have
Right.
time to absorb it, it's a good model. I wouldn't necessarily say it's great.
Okay.
And I'll say that just because it it's I don't know what it is. And I think it's because I don't necessarily know what I'm really looking at. Um,
She almost seems like a construct or something.
yeah, like
If you go to the photo of her back,
yeah,
whatever it is that her Doc Ock arms are
yeah,
enveloping, I almost wonder if that's what's housing her spirit or something like that.
probably. I wonder if this is essentially a Spite Revenant that is full tree.
It's possible. Yeah.
It looks like the actual armor on there looks like it's actually supposed to be metal, and
Yeah, I got that impression as well.
I'm not a huge fan of that. Like, it seems kind of weird that there's just like tucked on pieces of armor.
I
Again,
mean,
the
in these
composition,
ancient forests and all
sure,
this, like you could grab old pieces of armor and things
yeah.
like that.
And like I said, as far as the composition goes, I love the composition. I love the layout of the
Yep.
model. Like I said, I just it seems I'm complaining about the model whenever I like it.
Right.
I'm just saying whatever it started off as, again, S plus is now like a B plus.
Okay.
So
Uh, I'm excited because it looks like she's going to be a melee badass
yeah,
who's going to rip someone apart.
I
I'm excited for
really
that.
I would really hope so.
Yeah,
I'm hoping that it is a melee buffing unit.
I think we're both in the same boat. I think that's what she should be.
So next we got our first look um, at the new at a new unit where we got here the Gossamid
Yeah.
archers.
Yeah.
So these things are super cool looking.
Yeah. They
I'm
are. Oh, what is the unit that they're revenants, right?
yes, yeah, they're spite
Yeah,
revenant
they're
or not spite,
revenants.
they're tree revenants.
Yeah, tree revenants. The bows has swords. So,
Yeah,
and I'm guessing these are more of the beetles from the
yes,
individual hero that we had gotten years ago. Now it feels like
yes. So
added on to all of them. So,
so I definitely think there's
a
probably going to be some synergy between them. I would hope.
yep, I would hope so as well.
Um,
Very fast unit. Hopefully, they have a little bit of a punch to them, but
yeah, like if
we'll
they're,
see.
I, boy, we'll see. We'll see where they go. I'll hold off judgment. I love the
Mhm.
sculpts. Um,
Same.
I hope they are usable without being abused.
Yeah. I doubt these ones will see any of the ability to teleport like their
Yes.
foot brethren do.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
And to be honest,
there's no pipes
right,
because
there's
that's
they're what? It seems like a 5-man unit, so I doubt it's gonna be so punishing of a shot coming out of them that you're gonna truly struggle against it.
yeah. My hope is that we get that they're good enough that they see the table, but I
Yep.
have a feeling that they're still going to be a little shy from the shooting, and they're going to get uh, the Vanguard Hunter treatment.
Right. They're gonna get the fours and fours and
Yeah, for
there
or
you go.
like at least like threes, no rend, one damage, two shots. Like, and
Yeah.
I have a feeling that
Which as a deep player who lives in the threes -1 rend 1 damage world,
and you kill
that's
them
where
in a
these
block
should
of
be.
30.
20.
What?
But yeah.
At
Yeah,
most, you're
no,
going to be able to take those
that
in
should be what
15.
they take. Yeah, yeah. I think
Um,
these should be the same thing. These should be threes -1, 1 damage,
Yeah,
two
that to
shots
me is
each.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah. Yep.
So here we have the first build of clearly a dual kit, the Spider Rider Lancer, Spite Rider Lancer.
Spite. Yes. The
Um,
Dragonfly Lancers,
yeah, these
essentially.
things are so cool looking. Now
This.
there's one
Yeah,
with the pan fight or with the pan
I
flip.
noticed that.
So these guys might be teleported.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And these, seeing as how there are 3 of them, my mind went straight to my eels.
Yeah.
I hope they hit like eels. I hope they
I
hit hard and scare the crap out of you.
I have a feeling because so here's the thing is like the in the description has these fearsome cavalry come in do flavors spite rider lancers are Alarial elite shock cavalry lightning fast and dart into combat and strike their foes down before they can react, so chances are they're going to be super weak. These things are probably going to have 2 wounds, maybe 3 wounds with a 5 up save, and they're going to do something on the charge, maybe strike first. Um,
Hmm.
I think in the perfect world, they'll do very well, but I think in real world play, I think they're going to suffer.
It's possible.
I hope I'm wrong.
Yeah, these are
Like,
very large bases as well. It looks
yeah,
like,
yeah,
at
yeah.
least. So something to keep in mind as we're looking at this. But I'm hoping these are something that when they hit, they roll whatever it was they hit, as long as it's not a large unit.
Yeah,
But an elite versus elite, okay, I've picked up your models.
yeah.
Um, very interested to see how they do. I
Um,
think they'll probably be sitting on a 4-up armor at very worst.
we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I wouldn't mind a 3 wounds 4 up save, but I have a feeling it's going to be threes and fives. We'll see.
We shall see.
Because again, they just don't want this army to have defense, but they also don't want to give anything hit or wounds. So it's like you got to give me something somewhere, and they're just like, no.
Yeah.
All right, so then the other build is the Revenant Seekers. They're a touch slower, focusing on the vital task of harvesting the life energy of fallen Sylvaneth to resurrect their allies. So
Yeah.
I have a feeling these guys will probably be seeing.
Yeah, if you can keep picking up and putting back on the table more of your own models because of these guys,
Yeah,
and I'm assuming if they're slower, they might have an
I mean,
extra pip of armor or something like that.
we'll see. Like I said, I know
Their their whole
they'll probably
go
be an
ahead.
8-inch move, and you're probably just not supposed to get them on the front lines.
Yeah, perhaps you can use these to keep your oh, what are the 3 tree
Oh, the
units?
Kurnoth Hunters.
Kurnoth hunters. Keep those in front with these guys behind to oh, you killed a 5 wound Kurnoth hunter. Cool, I'm putting it back.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the other battle tome. Now, I again, I'm gonna look a gift horse in the mouth.
Okay.
Everything I see here, I love,
Same.
but I do not love it as much as I would have loved the Kurnothi warband being added.
I know. I know. You've very much wanted that to become like the other half of this book, much like how an Auric book has 3 parts or something like that.
Like I
Yeah.
said, to me, I want this to essentially be I want the trees to be the demons, and I want the Kurnoth to be the
Okay.
mortals.
The more. Yeah.
So to me, this should have been the third wave to the army.
It kind of is a third wave to the army.
Well,
It
I
is
mean,
just
like,
not the one that you wanted.
right. Well, I'm
Yes.
saying the first wave should have been what we got. The second wave should
Right.
have been the Kurnoth, and then the last
Hmm.
wave should have been this. Or this
I
should
get
be,
what you're saying.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So this should be like now we're filling out the Spite Revenants, and then the
Right.
next time we'll fill out the Satyrs. Like.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm super excited for the book. Um,
Same.
again, I know Morgan's super interested in this army. I don't know if I'll ever get her to play it, but depending on price, because we already have a decent selection of everything.
Right.
So depending on how
Pick
things
up a few
go,
pieces.
yeah, yeah. If I can do it within reason, I'll pick it up. But again, even with my discount, the prices are yeah.
Yeah. I think if I were running this, I would just right now. I'd have to pick up a unit of the Lancers. In my mind,
Oh
they're
yeah,
just such cool models for
yeah.
myself,
I agree.
personally.
I agree. Well, again, that's the
Yeah.
same reason why I picked up, well, countless units, just because I love how
Yeah. Yeah.
they
That's fair.
oh, that's what I picked up is I went out of my way and actually picked up a box of the oh crap, I'm forgetting their names now. The new bow guys from Stormcast, whose name I'm blanking on right now.
Oh, Vigilors or
Yes,
yeah,
Vigilors. Um,
that's it.
again, man,
The ones that give
Battleline.
plus the ones that give +1 to hit if you hit them,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
yeah, hmm
If they were either battle line,
yeah.
+1 to wound, or 30 points cheaper, oh man, I could find it all.
Or they were free, but you know,
Well, the points are very high for a unit that doesn't really do too much. So,
no, they kind of just marker light an opponent's army.
so the I don't necessarily know if this was planned or not, but we
Hmm.
also got revealed the Ogroids.
$20 says this one was not planned for this weekend, but we got it. Awesome.
these guys look so fucking cool.
They do. They really do. They are angry.
Yeah.
Just, I'm here for it.
Now I do have to say, like, depending on points, we'll have to see where it goes.
Mhm.
But like, I just don't. Um, which we'll get to the leaks here. I
Hmm.
believe that they they do the exact same damn thing that all these other units do that I was hoping that GW was going to get away from. Where if you give them a shield, they have a better save.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that concept, but I think that the War Scroll as is right now says add one to their save, I believe,
Hmm.
which means don't waste your time giving them all out defense.
Right.
It
Which
should
is
have
sad.
been their defense is
Change
4 up.
save to 4 up.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Because I love those shield. Like honestly, I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god, those axes are so cool. And then I look
But,
at the shield, I'm like, why does they look so cool with a shield?
right. Man, how did you convince me that a Minotaur needed a shield? Like, what?
An angry, roided out Minotaur.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, so I'm looking forward to that. Like, we're getting into Slaves of Darkness here in a minute, but man, that codex is really winning me over.
It is. Yeah.
All right, so then there's really nothing to show on this one, but
Mhm. Oh, yes.
Dawnbringer Crusade, man.
There we go. We got the confirmation. We just have to wait.
Um, Now I will say, so far the aesthetics of the little like knickknacks here that they've shown really aren't really doing too much for me. Um,
They are saying these are pretty early. I don't feel like they're anywhere near as refined as what we
oh,
normally get.
absolutely. Well, I'm just talking
So,
like just going off of the flavor, knowing that
right.
it's going to get refined. Like I said, I'm hoping that like all the Sigmar stuff, I'm hoping that's just a unit or two,
Right.
and it's not everyone has like Sigmar tattooed on their dick, you know?
I'm going to be very honest with you. I fully, with this being a crusade, a holy crusade in
Yeah.
my mind, they're going to be referencing Sigmar a lot.
Oh yeah. Well, I said, I mean, I know for like not for a fact. I was going to say for a fact, but I don't. I say I know for a fact that like we're definitely gonna get the flagellants, you
Oh, for
know,
sure.
and so
Yeah.
that's where I kind of expect this stuff to be in there. I'm hoping for like some paladins, maybe, you know.
Mhm.
But like I said, I was kind of hoping for a little bit more of a departure from Old World.
Yeah, I do feel like we are going a little bit back towards old world with
Yeah,
these
like
guys with
there's a
this.
lot in there that's very. Again, I'm super excited that they're working on it. I'm super
Hmm.
excited they announced it. Because again, based on the rumors from last year,
Yeah.
um, the Oathbreakers are the one that come up, destroy the gates of Azir, and that's what launches the Dawnbringer Crusade. Like
Boy.
launches the crusade, like capital T,
Right.
capital C.
Hmm.
Because right now the Dawnbringer Crusade exists, but they're just doing small skirmishes here and there, and they're kind of like doing what the Stormcast can't. And
Right.
it sounds to me like from the rumors that basically once this happens, they're like, Stormcast, go do your thing. We got our own ass. Like,
Right. Yeah. Well, get out of here. You're all too cranky for us anyway.
right. So I'm super excited to see where this goes. It's definitely uh, I would put it third in things I'm most looking forward to because like again we have Grungni's Reclaimers, Oathbreakers, Dawnbringer Crusade. That's
Fair enough. Fair enough.
what do we get? Okay, we got a couple more things. So we got the General's Handbook. So it finally
Yeah.
confirmed. Yes, we are staying in Gur. Hooray! Uh,
The Yeah, they are.
um,
The only thing that worries me, I said it earlier in our group chat. This says season one on it, 2022, 2023 dash season one.
yeah. Um.
I'm scared. I don't want to buy one of these every 4 months. So,
Well, like I said, we'll see these. So to put like the worst analogy out in the world, this is like GW is like the significant other that doesn't really want to put any more effort into the relationship, so they do like you they put effort in one time and then fizzle out.
right. It says season one And it might still be the only season.
Right.
That's fair.
So we might get a season 2 in like February, but then we're gonna get General's Handbook 2023, and then it's never gonna happen again. Like
Right. Yeah.
they're gonna be like, this is too much work. I'm interested to see where it goes. I'm a little annoyed. I'm not gonna
Mhm.
lie. I the realm rules that we have, I wanted them
Mhm.
to be the GUR realm rules. I do not want
Yeah.
multiple sets of realm rules.
I agree. I figured that we were leaving Gur with the next General's Handbook and we were going to go somewhere else. And every once in a while, somebody could be like, hey, reference your old General's Handbook because we're going to use the Gur rules for this mission, this round, this event.
That's again, I kind of had a feeling with how slow everything was going that we were staying in GUR for one more year.
I suppose. But
Um,
I was of the mind that Gur, then go to Shimon or Shaish or
yeah,
not Gur.
we're definitely going to Ulgu next. Um,
Probably right.
that's where Underworlds is. That's where we. I almost feel like that's where they wanted to go this year. But
And
I'm
then,
also torn because that's a lot of books. Like it feels like they're. It feels like once Votan comes out, and
okay,
once all 4 of the summer books come out, I have a feeling we're almost going to be caught up.
might be.
Like we're
Might
going to
be.
be back to like normal delay status.
Boy, that is nuts. It'd be nice to be the fly on the wall at GW to know, hey guys, we're almost there. We're almost caught back up from what the pandemic slowed us down from.
Yeah, because
But
I almost guarantee you that Votan was supposed to be revealed on the 2nd
it's possible. Yeah.
with like a June release date. So, um, so whenever Votan is finally revealed, that's how far back they are. Go from April 2nd to this date is how far back.
Right. Right.
But like I said, we'll see where it is. I'm glad they're keeping the same little book format. This was such a
Yes.
good idea. I've been
Hmm.
wanting to do it for so long. I just never wanted to buy a second book. Um, it has saved so many arguments of like, go, no, it's in the player's handbook. No, it's in the player's handbook. It's in the
Right.
core rulebook. It's in your battle tome. It's in the here. Just check the general's handbook.
Yes.
Um,
Have the core rules in the General's
yeah.
Handbook with the General's Handbook editions. Be done with it.
Like I said, I mean, other than that, I'm so like, we'll see with the general's handbook. I think the only other thing that I didn't really piece this too much. I'm interested to see what they're going to do to battle line.
Um,
I don't
I'm
know.
curious as well. I
Did you read
think
that line?
I did. It's going to emphasize your humble battle line troops, or should become veteran survivors of Gur. So I'm kind of wondering how currently, if you kill, well, not even the whole kill a monster bit. So let's say when you run 3 monsters, get your extra point.
Yeah.
Maybe that's going to be the shift.
Oh boy, that's gonna give
Yeah,
quite a boost to Iron Jaws.
to Iron Jaws, to a lot of Horde armies out there. This new Skaven book, I would
Yeah.
see something similar like that. Be good. That's where I think we would go with something like that. Is a little bump just twisted in a different direction.
Do we get
Um,
new battle tactics or command abilities
I think
for
we
the towns?
probably get new command ability for this because right now it is make your monster count as though it's at top bracket.
Yeah.
I think we probably leave that. I don't know what we leave it for to emphasize battle line.
Battle line fights the top bracket.
Maybe it is rally on 4 up for a unit.
Oh my god, that would be so. That would be. Oof,
There we go. Here's an idea.
oof.
And as far as our overall battle tactic, I think just having looked at what we're all getting in our individual battle tomes, I would not be surprised if they decide to make battle tactics more difficult to get.
Man, I'll tell you, like, so again,
I,
spoilers for 2 months. I'm not a fan of battle tactics.
that's
Um,
fair. And especially in a world where we're going to now say, hey, we're going to emphasize battle line. And we all know you've all taken the keep a battle line unit alive battle tactic for the last year. That seems like a bit of a miss to keep that around.
you know,
So I think we just make them really difficult to do now and say that those 3 points, if you get them, you earn them at the end of a game.
yeah, now with that being said, I think
Mm-hmm.
um, so no limit wishing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would love to see them take the grand strategies, and
Okay.
the grand strategy tells you how many points you get, and it's not just a flat three.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. If we could vary it, that this one's a one, keep a battle line
Right,
unit alive.
right,
This one's a three, hold all the terrain on the table, or hold more of the terrain on the table at the
exactly.
end. Yeah.
Make it harder. The
Right.
if your warlord, or like, if your general's still alive, you get 2 points. If he's not on a mount, 4 points. Like
Yeah. If he's not a monster as well.
right.
Yeah.
If he's not a monster or not on a mount, then boom. Like,
Mhm.
because I said, I mean, it's so silly. Like, oh boy, I'm
Mhm.
playing Stormcast and I have 40 wounds of 3 up, 6 up battle line
Battle
on the
line.
table. Like, good
If
luck,
I
buddy.
don't have this at the end, I've done something incredibly wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing with Giants. It's like, oh, I'm going to go with Beast or Battle Line, and oh, good luck.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Have you tabled me?
yeah, I really feel like, again, this is going to be, we're going to go over this again. So, spoilers
Right.
for 2 months here. I definitely feel like what I would have liked to have seen is we we essentially wait for all the battle tomes to come out, which we're pretty close to it by the time this is coming out, and we go,
Yeah.
no more generics. Look in your battle tome, and then the battle tome has battle tactics and general and grand strategies that encourage you to play your army the right way,
Right.
as opposed to like these ridiculous, like, hey, you have to get in there with your clan rats, and you have to roll all sixes and you get 2 points. Like, no, no, no,
Right.
no,
Yeah.
no.
To be fair, some of mine in Idneth Deepkin do feel like gimmies for my battle tactics. One is kill 2 units while affected by a high tide. So it's one of those things like, if I don't, I've lost this game. So
But like, I mean, for me, like, here's the thing: is it's I think Stormcast have 4 grand strategies. 2 of them are for dragons.
hmm,
It's like, well, okay, well, I can't
hmm,
even. And same thing. It's like everything's split down the middle of not
right.
dragons and dragons, and it's like,
Yeah.
well, I can't do that.
I need the generic one, please. Yeah.
Because again, I mean, as far as the Stormcast goes, with my list, the only thing that's possible is there's a battle tactic to kill a hero with a reclaim or a redeemer unit, which is my Vindictors.
Okay.
No one's ever been dumb enough to put a Vindictor unit or put a
Yeah.
hero into my Vindictors.
Right. Yeah, you have not ended up with that opportunity. Yeah.
Yeah. So I said, so that's
Yeah.
yeah. So we'll see. All right. So final reveal.
Yeah.
2 new sagas, 2 new heroes, 2 new models. Um, so we
Yeah.
got a new vampire,
Yeah.
which
Really cool.
I believe that gravestone was a rumor engine.
Yes, I think the
Oh,
gravestone and I
and the
think the
sword.
sword.
That sword is
Yeah.
what I was saying was going to be Umberneth.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
I was close.
Which, I mean, it's a vampire elf, so
Yeah,
like not far off.
yeah, not so far off. But yeah, so it's a weird. So we thought dragons, and it was a mishmash of bats and cat sort of thing.
Yeah,
Whatever, man. It's a cool model.
it
Um,
is. It
I
is.
I'm interested to see what it does to Soulblight.
Hmm.
And then of course we got a new dwarf model for KO.
Yeah.
Um,
Very strange three-barrel gun he's carrying. I'm interested to see what's going on with that thing.
again, like it's a super cool model. I'm digging it. I love. I don't know if you were paying attention to the axe at all. But it definitely has a harpoon at the end with a trigger on it.
Oh, look at that.
So he's like a Custodes KO.
That'd be pretty cool.
Now I'll
Okay.
say again, like, well, first off, they have to fix the book, which I doubt they're going to do. But if
Mm.
they could get more, a little bit more of an aesthetic like this into that KO book or into the
Yeah.
KO line, now we're talking. Because like one of the biggest holdups, again, besides gameplay, which is
Mm.
half of it, is like the models are cool, but there's nothing super dwarfy to me. Like, yeah, everything has little
Okay.
metal beards, but like give me some heads. Give me some heads without helmets. Every other army in the entire game has helmets without heads. Why? Like, give me the one
Right.
that doesn't. So now I have two heroes. I have this guy, and then the special model.
Hmm.
I can't think of his name. That they decided to
Oh,
make
you're
a
good.
KO. He's a named dwarf that's been around forever. So now he also has a helmetless head. But who knows?
Right.
Maybe with Voltaire, maybe Volton, I'll be able to pick up some and do a little couple swaps here and there.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll probably pick up both of these models.
Nothing wrong with that. Yeah.
Um, I'll probably pick up maybe at least one of the books and never touch it. So that's.
I was gonna say the Arcanaut book, probably. I'd assume.
I mean, who knows? They might talk about Grimney in there or Grungny.
Might, maybe reference it.
No. What about you? You getting any model? Either of them?
No, neither one of these guys really speaks to me. I don't own either of the armies. If I did own the Death Army, definitely be picking up that vampire.
Yeah.
But I'm not
Yeah,
there
man.
at the moment.
I got to figure out how to run Soul Blade because that was a
We'll
lot of
figure
fun,
it
man.
out. Yeah.
I mean, there's some of the people like, oh, you can't move a 60 block of zombies. Oh yeah.
Mm,
All right, so let's move along here. So we had onto the leaks, the leakages.
yeah. The leakages.
So first we had the Chaos Slaves of Darkness book. That
Yeah.
was a huge shock. Um,
Yeah, one that GW then had to go and give us the whole, hey guys, here's what we're doing for the year because of how much that screwed us up.
um, so so did you look over any of the rules at all?
I did a little bit, especially with the Demon Prince. I was very curious if that Corn Demon Prince stayed the way he was. He does not. So he will be losing the target on his back, I
Yes.
believe.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think we'll see more Demon Princes for there other than just a niche one-off rule?
Yeah, I think we can get Demon Princes in there now for a combat hero that has a small footprint, but can
Mhm.
still kill something without too much trouble. Uh, Pretty interesting character as well. I like that they're going to be having a nice 3-up armor save with a 6-up ward just because, hey, we're having fun, you know?
Now, there's one rule on here that I don't know why this came to me. It's
Mm-hmm.
um, just because I feel like there are times, as much as I've been griping on their rules writing,
Mm-hmm.
I do at least give them credit that they're trying to be creative.
Right.
And I think a creative and fun narrative rule for this guy, because again, he has only 10 wounds, so I still worry about his stayability for a
Right.
for a fucking demon prince. That's one
Right.
of the things.
Right.
Like, as not knowing the army but knowing the lore, whenever a demon prince shows up, I feel like it should be a real big deal. You know,
No, I don't disagree. Yeah.
as opposed to like a well, hey, like he's 108 points, you can take 4 of them. Like,
Right. Yeah.
um, imagine this rule, if you will.
Hmm.
When this model is killed or slain, whatever you
Okay.
want to use the words,
Yeah.
notate the unit that slain him or that did the final wound.
Okay.
When that unit is slain, put this model back on the table.
With X number of wounds, but yeah. Okay. Okay. Some sort of revenge mechanic could be fun.
Yeah, I imagine it was just like it could almost be a little like Abaddon esque, where like as soon as you relish in your victory, then oh,
Yeah. No, that could be fun.
again, like I said, that might be a little too much, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you, man, like I don't know about the rules too much, but some of these models, they're
Oh,
really speaking
beautiful.
to me, man.
Beautiful.
I
Yeah.
can't see me starting a Slaves of Darkness army, but like the chosen
It's
models,
twisting your arm.
yeah.
Yeah. No,
The if someone else had this, like if one of you guys had this army, I'd be like, hey, can I
mhm.
play that this weekend?
Right. Yeah. No, I hear you. No, those
Um,
new chosen look great. They're very Stormcast-esque in my mind, but they're huge and chunky, and
yeah.
they look like they're gonna hurt somebody.
I
I
still need
like
to
it.
show you. I still need to show you the Slaves of Darkness, the Chaos Warrior that I painted up. He's
You
so
do.
ugly. Oh my god.
Nah.
Um, the Eternus, I love his rules. I think he's really cool, depending on what points he's at.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very interesting model.
And then they shown the horns of Hashut.
That's right.
I
Yes.
think I saw Vince say that this looks like it's going to be an Underworlds warband, but
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't see where he's getting that from. I think
Yeah,
it
I
would be
guess so.
cool.
Now that I'm reading this, 1 in every 10 may be the alpha and
Yeah, so
gets
I don't
yeah
think that's
that
right.
yeah. I think this is probably just a normal battle line unit, perhaps.
So to go into a little bit of depth here, one of the reasons why I'm so excited to see this, Hashut is the Chaos Dwarf, Chaos God.
Oh, but that is definitely a human pictured
Yes,
here.
it's definitely a human. So while it is a little concerning that that's not a dwarf, it is exciting to
Interesting.
see Hashut mentioned.
We are referencing them.
Right.
Yes.
So they could be saying, "Hey, hey, hint, hint, Hashut is real. Don't rule anything out." Or they're saying,
Right.
"Hey, hey, we don't give a shit what it used to say. Now it's humans."
Gotcha.
And I will say right now, if Oathbreakers come out and it's a
Hmm.
human force, I'm flying to UK and I'm taking a shit on the Rhino.
Oh boy. Oh, I
um,
know you would be very upset.
it would be I'd be like, fuck it, I'm playing Conquest now. I don't care anymore.
Oh.
Sell everything. I'm gonna go downtown and start throwing models at people.
Oh,
um,
I just got down to the ogre. We were
yes.
incorrect about the shield earlier.
Oh, was I?
It does change your save to a 4-up.
Excellent, excellent. Oh, I do see it right there.
Good.
Excellent. Yeah, that's the way it
Perfect.
should be, and that's the way they should be with all of them.
Yeah.
I'd like to see that verbiage be there for all of them. But yeah, I gotta say, like, we haven't seen points,
No. No.
um, and they are very similar to Annihilators.
Yes, I thought the same. They were annihilators without the save,
Yeah,
and 2 more wounds. So maybe that's how they're trying to make up the save loss. Is you just have more meat
yeah,
that counts 2 models per on an objective where they're at.
yeah.
So
So
that's
we'll
good.
see. Like I said, I mean, it could be a lot of fun. I hope they point them properly because again, I think Annihilators are a little expensive right now, a little more expensive than they should be, and I hope they learn that whenever they come here.
Yeah.
Again, they also have one of my new favorite rules of add 1 to wound rolls. Um,
Yep. Very
uh,
good.
that's
Beacon player with that ability. I
yeah,
love it. Yep.
yeah. So, so overall, based on what we've seen, what do you think of the Slaves of Darkness book?
I'm very interested in it. It looks like we might be breaking it up into pieces of these are kind of the more wild side of chaos in this book, and this is more of like what was it that was underneath of Eternus? He has Chaos Legionaries as one of the keywords he calls out.
Hmm.
So I'm
All right.
wondering if that is the discipline side, all of our big heavy armor over here and everyone who's wild over here.
Let's see. Can we see anything in the? No, it's not really.
No, the horns don't have Chaos Legionaries.
Well, I
Neither
was
do
looking
the.
at the table of contents here, where it's
Okay.
you do have damned legions. I do like that the War Scrolls is a column and a half.
Yeah, it's great. It's always good. I love
So we'll
it.
see. I think it's a good. I think
Yeah.
it's a good starting point.
Yeah.
Nothing in there that I don't see anything in there that's so game breaking that I worry about it.
No.
So that
If they
does,
get the points right on it, be a great
yeah,
book.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Is like
I,
it does give me a pause with the power level of other books
right.
that it might come out a little weak. I'm
Mhm.
hoping that this is a good fat middle book.
Yeah, and especially since we don't know fully what all of their overall army abilities are,
Right.
depending on what Chaos God you decide you're worshiping. Maybe
Right.
this they do a little bit more now, perhaps, and it's gonna mean something.
Yeah, I think like we're kind of in the opposite of where we're going next with Night Hunt, where it's like we've seen more War Scrolls but no Allegiance abilities. I have a feeling if we just saw like we did with the Night Hunt with the bows,
Yeah, we
um,
went. Oh well.
yeah. So who knows? It's so interesting where we are because there are some books that have allegiance abilities, and you're like, hey, yeah, thanks for remembering about those. That's
Could you write those, please? Yeah,
and then there's other
Stormcast.
ones where you're like, oh my god, did you forget to take that out? Is that?
Right. Yeah.
So we'll see where the book goes. I think it's going to be a
Yep.
fun book. I love all the new models. I'm shocked at the amount of models they're getting.
Yeah. I'm honestly seeing that, seeing what we're getting for Sylvaneth. Like, I'm half wondering if one of the other four books that's going to come out in the fall, what models one of those books might end up getting. Like,
I would say for the amount of models that are coming out, and we know the amount of models that they're working on, I feel like we should probably not expect to see too many models
look, I
for.
want to be a little hopeful here. All right, don't dash me,
There's
but
also four books coming out.
just one of those books will get new models. That's my what I'm
Each
thinking.
one's going to
Just
get a
one.
new hero, and that's going to be it.
All right. All right.
You're gonna get your Ogor Tyrant Chieftain Junior,
Yeah. Yeah.
Associate Chieftain. um, so I said we'll see, we'll see. Like I said,
Yep.
now I heard another theory. Well, not theory,
Okay.
but floated theory.
Okay.
Um, this would be the first time they release a battle tome, a one-off battle tome in a long time.
Oh.
Do you think they just haven't even announced a second battle tome for winter, or do you think we're just going to get one early Q1?
I think no. I think that this is a one-off. We'll probably get one early Q1. I think they are probably going to reach the point where they go, "Hey guys, we're kind of running out of things to put other things up against," especially since they are cranking out all of the order armies
Yeah,
at once. It feels like that at the start of all of this, it's hard to give your chaos army something to fight.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Well, again, I mean, there's always you always. I would be a huge fan of chaos versus chaos.
you could always do something like that. I think this just isn't the book to make
Right.
it chaos versus chaos,
Agree.
but I see what you're saying.
Agree. All right, so let's go on to the other leaks where we had
Yeah,
the Nighthawk leak.
the entire
Yes,
Nighthawk book
which is
just dropped out of the sky.
which again isn't so bad since it's
No,
so close.
right.
But let's. So again, I think this is, from what I saw, I think the War Scrolls themselves are average, but I think
Yeah, all right.
some of these Allegiance abilities are insane.
This is how the army will fight. Will be off the back of these allegiance abilities. I think.
Yes.
This wave of terror ability is great. Where whenever you charge, whatever your die roll was, you get an extra ability on the charge.
Get there. Hold on. Sorry, people, for the rapid scroll. Okay, it's not on there.
Yeah.
Um.
But that is huge. The fact that the army gets to fall back and then charge all the time to keep the wave of terror going the whole time.
So
I love it.
I I definitely think that, again, we'll see when we play it,
Yeah.
but I think this has completely jumped the shark. I think they have overcorrected so far.
It's good. It's just the only thing I'm going to be worried about if I were a Nighthaunt player. If you do not roll okay on your charge rolls and get that 8-9 so that you are downing save rolls, this book does not have armor penetration. It
So-
just flat out, it does not.
And so, yes, I'm not disagreeing with you. However,
Yeah.
army wide 6 to hit auto wounds?
Yeah. Yeah. We're just going to try and smack you and hope that you fail all your armor saves.
Right. So it's like, so I see, and again, as someone that plays a lot of armies that do things on D6s and whatnot, you know,
Right.
I know that it's not the end of the world, but at
Right.
the same time, if
This
you,
is the correction for the mortal wound problem, I think.
right, and like, I honestly don't mind that by itself.
Okay.
The 6 to hit is an auto wound is fine. That's fine. That's really cool. It's really thematic. It's very interesting. I like it.
Okay.
The stacking wave of terror.
Yeah. That'd be great.
That's
It's going to be great.
that's awful. It should be one per unit. If not, one per charge phase.
Right.
I mean, jeez, oh man, yeah, like that's
No, I think this is going to be the person who likes to try and outmaneuver their opponent's army with everybody having an 8-inch move and the ability to fly.
yeah, 8-inch move
It
across
is.
the board, fly across the board, retreat.
We're going to
Across
retreat
the
and
board.
charge across the army. Yeah, it's going to be great.
Like I said, I mean, this is going to be one of those things. I think this is. I think the issue with this is going to be a. I think this is going to be an ability amplifier.
This is going to be a player's army, yes.
Right. So if you put this in the hands of Bill or Roger, you're not going to win.
Yes, it's done.
You're just not going to win. You put it in my hands, I'm not going to win. That's. But like I said, I think whenever you play against a proficient player, I think this is going to be a nightmare to play. I think it's going to be a pain in the ass, and it's going to be like that scene from 300 where this will not be fast, this will not be gentle.
No, I hear you. Now, the thing I do worry about for the Nighthaunt player currently is that we were just revealed today our battle line are all going to be the emphasis of our armies, which means a lot of small little attacks to try and take things down, which is exactly what Nighthaunt doesn't want to see. And unleash hell into a unit of Nighthaunt charging you, if you just get 20 shots into them and they go, oh, I've got 3 guys left in the unit after that. That sucks.
Um, yeah, let me see. Do they have Scriptor Mortis? Yeah, it looks like the Spiky Bits doesn't have the any of the individual workfuls. But I mean, at the same time, you do have Chain Rasp, Grin Rasp Reapers, Hex Race, and Spirit Hosts all as battle line. So, I mean, a
Yep.
double or triple reinforced unit of Hex Race has always been a fucking nightmare,
Yeah.
especially with some Spirit Hosts backing them up.
Yep. Spirit hosts are interesting now. They are not as killy because they aren't doing mortals and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
They actually are a bodyguard unit in this book.
Which I think they were before.
Oh, were they? Okay.
Yeah, I'm no.
And we can create more battle line depending on what it is that you choose to be your overall allegiance.
Yeah.
I think the one personally, if I were to be running this book, what's it called again? It would be the Scarlet Doom, where if you're running Blade Gas Revenants, which you will be in this one, when you charge, roll a dice for each model in that unit that charged. On a 5-up, do a mortal wound.
Yeah,
So the army
that's
that wants to charge does mortal wounds with it charged.
yeah,
Sounds good.
yeah, yeah. So, like I said, we'll see. I'm very nervous
uh,
about this book.
I think that it will have spiking damage, and anyone who's playing an elite monster army is they're screwed.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah, yeah,
they're done. I think if you are fighting against another horde, you're going to have quite the battle ahead of you because you're going to charge in the chaff and you're going to lose whatever you charged with.
yeah,
It's got to be how it goes.
yeah.
It will become a who has outwitted the other. Have I made it so whenever you fall back, you still can't get to my good units? Things like
That's
that.
true.
Yeah.
That's true. I mean, well, the problem is you again flying, so you can at 8 inches,
Flying,
8 inch flying, you can fall back the other way.
you can. However, if you do good with your second line,
Yeah,
our force 3 inches in AOS
yeah.
makes a difficult buffer to get past.
We will
I'm
see.
excited for this book and see how it goes. I always was telling myself if I was going to make myself a death army, it would be Osiris Bone Reapers. But having gotten a look at this book before I should have, I sat there and went, "Am I gonna try and build Night Haunt?" Because boy, did I kind of want to build Night Haunt there because I know that's a fast painting project for me. It won't
Yeah,
be the
yeah.
prettiest painting project, but
Well, we'll
I'm not a good painter, so
if you pick that up, we'll have to do doubles with Soul Blight and Night Haunt.
there we go. There we go. Give me a reason to get 1,000 pointer going.
I'll tell you, man. I think it's one thing our area is missing is there's very little in doubles.
Yeah, there is. There is. That's a lot of areas, I feel like, because
Yeah,
so many people, you just need to find someone that you're cool with just going, hey, we're going to have a good time and see what the hell
yeah.
happens.
Well, again, like I look back at the first Ren 4 tournament I went to was the doubles. It
That's
was great
true.
because I was able to rely on Chuck to try and help pull me through things a little bit, help me understand a
Yeah.
little better. Now, again, it's Chuck, so that didn't happen, but
Right. Yeah, no, me and Alex, I think, actually went to the same one. And somehow the two of us teaming up, I think we ended up coming in second or something that whole
wow,
event. It was
wow.
great. Yeah, it was a great time. Only lost to Roger and Mike, I think, were together.
Huh? How'd
Yeah.
that happen?
Surprise. Yeah.
Now
No,
that
it was
was
a
the
great
same
time.
tournament where I had a. This was because that was right after the the first new Nurgle Battle Tome came out,
Oh, okay.
and I had my KO, and I had a chemist. hold up a Great Unclean One for 3 rounds.
Oh yeah, baby. There we go.
The guy
Things
was
that shouldn't happen.
he was like ready to like shit himself, and I'm like,
Oh man.
6s, because again, like the chemist is -1 to hit in an aura, and that was the
Right.
big downfall of the Great Unclean One. Is there was a lot of I think there was a couple 4-ups to hit.
I was gonna say I think a Great Unclean One still currently needs 4s on some
Right.
of its bigger weapons.
So sitting there 5s and 3s or 5s and 2s, they're like 2. And I'm like 6s,
Fair enough.
get out of my face. And
Yep.
yeah, then it was hilarious. It took, and then so the Great and Clean One eventually went down, and
Nice.
the other guy had a unit. I want to say it was like cavalry dark elves
Okay.
that charged in and finally did like the last 2 points of damage on him. Like,
Yeah.
well, that was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I find like there's I find whenever someone makes a doubles tournament suited for 2 players, it's a lot of fun.
I agree. I agree. And
Uh,
I prefer whenever you get to pick the person you're going out
Yeah.
to do all this with. I do understand all the events out there that are, hey, you're going to show up and we're going to pull names out of a hat to figure out who you're with.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to jive with that person all that well all
Right.
day.
Right. Because again, that's the same thing with me. Because like, I don't like most people. That's
That-
it's,
I can get along and be personable with everybody, but I don't know if I want to spend the next 12 hours of my day with you.
I can be cordial,
Right.
but I always have a hard time like opening up and being me against someone I don't know because
Right.
I just like no, I don't want to deal with it, man.
Yep. Yep.
All right, yeah. So unfortunately, we are recording on Thursday, so I don't know when this is going to get updated because the Lord of the Channel is away from his computer.
Right.
So it'll be done Friday, and it'll be sent to Chuck on Friday. So it should be posted on Friday, but probably won't be.
But
So
he has
so
a good excuse. So
yeah, so obviously aren't going to be able to talk about Horus Heresy or the small games or box games, whatever they call it.
Yeah.
Any predictions? There's no Underworld's banner, so
I have no idea what they are going to do with Horus Heresy after revealing that starter box, which I don't even think we talked about. But oh my
Oh, yeah.
word, that starter box
Yeah.
is massive.
well, I'm terrified at the price.
Ugh.
Now. I'm terrified.
Oh,
at the
same.
price because we had the Necromunda box set come out, which was
Yeah. How much was
not a-
that? I forget.
so that was $300.
I'm guessing that is where the Horus Heresy box set will be.
Well, here's the thing: is all you have to remember Let's see if I can bring it up. Well, let me bring it back here.
Go ahead.
Let's transition back. Let's see. No more. Because who would make it a giant? Oh God Almighty, GW. Just
You know
make-
they love you.
make
You know
it
they love you.
difficult.
Yep.
Okay, pre-orders. Okay, so let's see. Where's the box? Okay, so the box $2.99 out of stock. Well, that's good for them.
Yeah.
You suckers. You should feel terrible about yourself. Let's see. Description. So, two large buildings, one large platform, two small platforms, 5 walkways, double-sided gaming mat, which costs nothing. Dice
Right.
tokens, they don't consider that either. And then 12 models from the Orlocks, 4 from the Waste Nomads. So that's going to be these guys and these guys. So we're looking at, I believe, 3 boxes of terrain, 3 boxes of Ogroids, and 2 boxes of Ash Wastes. So that's $300.
Yeah.
The Horus Heresy box set that we're looking at.
Huge. It's like 40 regular Marines, 10
Right. I mean,
Terminators, and a tank and what is it? A dreadnought plus 2 heroes. It's a lot. It's a lot of plastic.
yeah. Let's see if I can
My
find.
only hope is they are valuing those buildings at quite a bit. It's my only
Uh,
hope.
let's see. Come on, guys. It wasn't that far ago. Yeah, I totally forgot about bringing this up.
It's all good.
Well, we did the quiz last time, so where's.
I'm looking for it here. Somewhere in the middle of the month. I thought.
Sorry, guys at home. Here, hold.
Oh yeah, no, this is riveting now.
Yeah, now, but now we have something to prove. Let's check Fayette here. I know they brought it up.
Yeah.
So, by the way, they are also speculating a June release date,
Okay.
which makes perfect sense.
Yeah. No, that's not too bad at
Leaked
all.
images of the box set. Here we go.
Yeah.
Which again, this was official, so you can find it on the website somewhere. I just can't find it.
It is.
So you have 40 Marines, two
April
lieutenants or
22nd.
captains or whatever, 10 Terminators, the Spartan tank, and a Dreadnought.
Yeah.
This,
It's a lot.
This box set is based on current GW pricing boxes is going to be between $350 and $400. Now,
Yeah.
they can swerve and go like, hey, you know what? If we do something more than 300, people are gonna riot. So let's just cap it at 300. They could do that,
Right.
but I don't think they're going to do that. GW has been very much about the pocketbook lately. So whenever you can sense the release date with the price, get your leather bit, get it firmly in place.
I don't know. Maybe we'll get lucky. GW will decide to make Horus Heresy take off. They will take the small loss in profit that it would be to release this at 300 in order to convince more of us that we have to play Dark Heresy.
Yeah.
And not play it with our current Marines that we have sitting around.
Yeah, I'll tell you, man, like, what's funny is, like, the longer it goes on, the less interested I become.
That's fair.
I don't know why.
Okay.
I guess it's not necessarily anything they're doing, but it's me looking, going, where am I going to put that army? How much am I going to play that army? How much painting am I going to have to do? Because this is like Horde Marines.
Yep. I mean, we're looking at 50 some models here.
Right.
Is that a full 2,000 points if we put it all together? Probably not.
Probably not. You're probably going to need some more tanks, probably some less bodies and more tanks.
Yeah.
But like, and then on top of that, I'm like, okay, well, out of the original legions, if I don't go Custodes, I guess I would go Space Wolves, and then we're right back to the problem I have with current day Space Wolves.
It's not Space Wolfy enough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, in all honesty, like I said, I'm not a huge Horus Heresy aficionado. I don't know if in the Horus Heresy they behaved themselves and weren't adding fur and writing in runes.
I mean, I think they were always towing the line.
Yeah.
And Dad wasn't always happy about that, but you know.
Just like, what did you do to that armor? What? And just poofy hair. Just
Exactly.
You know that cost that one suit costs the same as a planet, you know?
Right. Yeah,
well,
really.
No, it looks cool. And what'd you do with the helmet? I threw it out.
Yeah.
You what?
Do you know how much I paid for that skull of yours, boy?
It's at the garbage now, so.
Yep.
So, like I said, we'll see. I don't see too much. I don't see me getting too into Horus Heresy. They would it would have to be a really solid rule set,
Yep.
and there would have to be a major scene for it.
You would have to like templates as well.
I don't mind templates.
Okay.
I
Then
kind of
we're
miss
okay.
templates.
We're okay.
I see.
There are
See,
moments I do miss them, except for
so
the days where you argued over whether or not you got one guy in or
so
not.
that's exactly where I was going to go. You've played me enough that you know my response to that is, "What do you think? You
Yep.
think he's in?"
Whatever you feel like. Yeah.
Because if I lose that game because of that one model, it's fine.
Agreed.
I'd rather lose the game by one model than have a big fight, and
Right.
it's not worth it.
Yep.
So, like I said, so what are your thoughts on
Horus Heresy
Horus Heresy? Are you diving in
models
both
look
fit?
no. I love the look of these models. I'm with you though that I feel like the scene just isn't big enough to convince me to play that. If I'm going to
No,
sit down to play a game of 40k, 30k, whatever the future, I'm just going to play the more popular version
yeah.
of the game.
Now I will say that Dom at Fabricator Forge said that he's been hearing more people talk about Horus Heresy than he has Sigmar.
That's because this is new and shiny
True,
in my mind.
true.
So,
But I wonder if AOS is going to become third fiddle.
I can't see that happening personally.
I mean, personally, I
It-
wouldn't
it-
mind. I wouldn't mind.
Right. Thing is, we just talked about the price tag to get into this.
Yep.
It's a big price tag.
So here's what I think, though: the same neckbeard that we don't want to play against in AOS is going to be the same neckbeard who's willing to put the money in to go to Horus Heresy.
Problem is, there aren't too many people in the AOS scene
That's
who I'm
true.
like, I don't want to play against that guy.
That's true.
I think the thing you're going to see is a lot of 40k players who say, I've read all whatever ridiculous number it is of all the Horus Heresy books. I must jump into this.
That is true because, like, I do think the point. I do think right now the general feel of ninth edition is trending negative.
Yeah, I think people are, especially after the last Eldar release and stuff
After
like
the
that,
last
and what
3
happened after the
Battletome.
yes, after Harlequins came out and everyone went, so we knew there was an S tier. This kind of broke it, and GW had to like come back a week later and be like, so we messed up.
Yeah.
All these things are the biggest problem model is getting a 40 point up from 90 to 130. Yeah, you messed up.
Yeah, and like I said, I mean, I absolutely agree. And again, I don't think we talked about this on any of the shows or not, but I agree with you. I think they should have just made it a single unit or single model unit, and that would have
Yeah.
solved.
The whole problem.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they don't want to. They don't. They'd rather fix the. They'd rather do a points adjust instead of.
Right. Yeah. They
They'd
adjusted
rather
the
do
points.
a point shift than a rule nudge.
Right.
um,
That's more what people are used to, though,
Yeah.
is a point shift rather than changing a whole rule. But it's still,
like I
it's
said,
sad to see that somebody didn't go, hey, guys, this is going to become something that you see at the finals and one of the biggest events in the U.S., one against the other.
right. And like I
Boy.
said, so like I said, I think that is a good point. I do think that we are going to see a little bit of cannibalization
Yeah.
of 40k. Again, 40k is not going anywhere.
No, there's no way 40K is going anywhere. It
Um,
is the flagship game. It will continue to be. Doesn't matter what else GW puts out.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think I came up with a very mean spirited theory just a
Okay.
little bit earlier today that that they're writing all these codexes and these battle tomes so shittily just to prove that they're a model company and not a rules
Oh
writing.
boy, they if they're gonna try and convince us they are a model company, then just stop with the rules and just tell us you're done with the rules.
I'm telling you, I still
The
say,
thing is that they do so much being like, hey guys, we're gonna consistently work on our rules, that they're a
right,
rules writing company now.
right, right. Well, that's the thing is like whenever you come out with, you know,
Balance status slate.
right, three sets of Space Marine rules, but only one line of Space Marines in a given
Right.
year, you're now sorry, you're a rules writing company. It's
Right.
I still challenge them, open challenge to GW to release some of the most beautiful sculpted models humanly possible, full line,
No rules.
no rules. There's one rule that these models cannot be proxied for other models.
Boy.
See how well it sells.
Oh, wouldn't. Wouldn't. Just flat
But
out.
they're a model company. They're not a gaming company. They make the money off of the models, not off the game. So clearly, if they make models without rules, that'll be enough to keep them afloat. They'll just keep selling.
Yeah, yeah. I don't want to go into that. We both know where this goes.
Yeah, me being right. That's where it
You're
is.
correct, sir. Yes, sir. You are correct.
Yeah, so that's
Yep.
yeah. It's like a prostitute saying that she's really just an overpaid psychologist, and it's like, okay, well,
Jeez.
let's get rid of the sex. Well now.
Jeez.
Let's not do the toothless BJ. How about that? Let's see where that gets you.
Boy.
Well,
Boy. Well,
so GW. What I'm trying to say is, if you want to send us any products to sponsor or review before release, be happy to do so. I'd be super neutral. If not, I'd be very positive about everything that you release. That's
yeah, they're definitely believing that after all what we just said here. Yep. Oh
all
boy.
right. So with that fun tangent, you got anything else for us?
No, I just wanted to come back around and talk about Horus Heresy there. I'm glad we did. Was a
So
trip.
so what announced or not announced, what battle tome are you most looking forward to?
Corn. I want there to be a Corn Battle Tome. That was my first foray into Age of Sigmar. Was I had a undivided Chaos Demons army from the old world. I decided I was going to go hammer into Corn whenever they revealed that whole book and everything. Boy, I want it to be good. I want them to be playable in Age of Sigmar. They don't have
Yeah.
to be the best army. A nice fat middle army where, yeah, they'll have matchups. You just go, well, that's okay.
Yeah.
But I want them to be good and playable.
Yeah. I that's one thing that like I always it's one of the that's one of the armies that I literally just feel bad about.
Hmm.
Again, as someone who is prone to a little bouts of rage here and there. Not that any examples of that have been shown in the last
No,
5 minutes.
none at all. None at all.
um, it's an army that I could see enjoying, but right
Mhm.
now the army is not representative of the narrative or anything.
No,
It,
no.
and even on top of that, even if it was, it's in such a poor spot right now that I like.
Right. Convince yourself to play an army and go, I'm probably going to lose every game I walk up to.
Which, if you are also interested in Corn, person at home who's still watching almost 3 hours in, um,
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
yeah, we did a Corn episode a couple months ago
Yeah.
where we made it better.
Yeah.
So
You split it in the two halves. That's what you do, and
yeah, yeah.
it'll work better. It'll be great.
So if they take our advice and they build the armies the way we think they should,
Yeah,
I would be absolutely willing to go to a doubles event where you bring demons and I bring mortals.
sounds good. I probably have the models to do it. So here we go.
All right. So with that, I think we've gone over all the leaks. We've gone over all
Yeah.
the reveals, all the important ones at least.
Right, all the good ones. I understand there's more coming up, but
Yeah,
man,
I'm sure Warcry will get some cool looking war bands.
yeah,
I don't care
Kill
about
Team will
Necromunda.
get
You know, I don't care about Kill
cool
Team.
things.
They're
Yeah,
probably Kill Team's probably going to get announced the next box set.
yeah,
Because it seems like they're kind of done with individual releases for that, and it's just the box sets now.
yeah. I don't know.
Which
Kill Team feels in a rough spot. I think a lot of people are disappointed about the current rule set, but current opinion.
well, so real quick, so last opinion: are we
Okay.
getting a box set or are we getting second edition Kill Team?
Oh, we're getting a box set. We're not getting a new edition. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Um,
Easy as that.
I'll tell you, man. For me, they had it with Shadow War Armageddon.
Shadow War Armageddon was a pretty cool rule
It
set.
was
Yep.
so much fun. It was a nice different. It was a nice divide between Necromunda and Kill Team.
Yep.
But for some reason, they were like, you know what? Let's just go Necromunda and burn everything that we just made, and we won't worry about supporting.
Yeah, it'll be fine. Don't think about it. It'll be okay.
All right. So with that, everyone have a good month. Hope you enjoyed it. What do you think we're gonna do next month? There's no tournaments.
No tournaments. We'll be preparing for bars.
You know,
So
so we talk about bars.
we could talk a little bit about
I
bars
don't know how
before
much
we
we've
hit
already
it up.
talked about bars. We've already talked a lot about bars.
We have.
So
We like bars. Go to
maybe
bars if you
maybe
ever can.
I don't know. Well,
You can't this year. Well, maybe try to get yourself on a wait list.
I don't know. Yeah, sold out. Piss off.
It is.
I oh so let me ask, what did you, in full honesty, what did you think of my narrative hero?
Oh, I enjoy what you have created for that narrative hero. Very cool.
I because like I said, I shared the picture of him.
Mhm.
No one's watching, so I'm not going to worry about putting a picture up right now.
No, don't worry about it. Yeah,
uh, but like, I posted it. I was like, guys, look at what I painted, and everyone's like, "Yep, you painted
Crickets.
that. You painted it all right." And then like move. I'm like, what? What's wrong with it?
I think you'll get much better in-person reactions
Yeah.
whenever somebody can appreciate
Yeah.
what has been done to that model.
Yeah. So we'll see. Like I said, the base came in, so all I need to do is glue him and put the grid on and wash and dry brush.
Awesome.
He's done.
Awesome.
So, like I said, maybe we'll talk about bars. Maybe we'll delve into another game. I've been like one of the things I was kind of thinking about for this month was having you hop on and do TTS, and I was just going to show you Middle Earth.
Oh yes, we can do that for next week or next month, and we'll talk some Middle Earth and my opinions on it too now,
Yeah.
because we all know, as Matt says all the time, play Middle Earth. I'll play Middle Earth, and I'll come back and talk to you all, let you know what I think.
So here's what we'll do. Because so whenever I have a slow period at work, because I'm at my office chair right now, I keep my Middle Earth stuff on hand in case I get bored. So this
Just
is
in
the I don't know if it's going to show up. It's showing backwards on my preview, but it says Battle Companies. This
I
is
can read
the skirmish.
Okay.
And so basically it tells you what, well, so first off, map campaigns. So it shows you how to do hex.
Okay.
We won't go that
Good.
far. But
That's okay.
essentially what we do is it tells you what your starting army is.
Oh, okay. Depending on who you are, it
Right.
just flat out tells you this is what
Yeah,
you take.
this
You're
would
done.
just start off, and basically how they do it is they start off with you just being like it's typically your box set, like whatever your
Oh,
what your
okay.
box is, that's your army. So there's a little bit that's not fully balanced, but again,
No, definitely doesn't sound
you're
it,
not
but
going into here being like, "Ooh, I can't wait for a balanced game."
right.
So let me see. So the Dead of Dunhara, which is the one you said you liked, your
Yes.
starting battle company is 2 warriors with shields, 2 warriors with spears.
Cool. Good enough.
And then
Just add more warriors as we go.
right. And so basically, if you have 4 models, and then I pick something, I don't know, probably just Gondor or something.
Right.
That way we can just do a little thing, and we could get that in an hour.
Doesn't sound bad at all.
All right. Well, everybody, I hope you enjoyed this this episode. I hope you. What am I going to hope for? I hope that not only do you go and buy a Double Turn Me Daddy shirt, which everybody loves every time we go to a tournament. Everyone always says something about it.
Everyone always takes a picture of my Double Turn Me Daddy shirt.
Again, should have put the logo like right here, and then of course that skunk Chuck Moore put his logo on the back.
On the back, yep.
Of the text one, yeah,
Yep.
bastard.
He had to try and get his branding in there.
Yep. I mean, it's a show, so you know.
Yep.
But
fair enough.
Don't paint anything.
But I've got to paint that for
No,
bars.
you can paint.
Okay, okay, good.
You watching at home that doesn't have an event coming up, don't paint anything. If someone says, "Oh, Fleet Bill against Gray," punch him right in his fucking mouth.
There we go.
You go, you want my shit painted? Paint it, ass. There we go. There. Boom. All right. Good night, everybody.
Good night.
Yeah, that'll teach them.